Yeah. Okay.
Well, I got in a small accident this past week, and
What?
Uh-oh. What happened?
yeah, not my fault. Some guy ran into the back of my car,
Oh
and then
no.
he went around me and hit another car, which ran into another car. People got injured, and then he took off.
Oh
And the
wow.
police finally got him and did some damage to my car, but I have a rental car, and that's being fixed, so it's not a big deal. Anything new in your lives?
Not like that.
No, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal.
Dang.
Wait, what day was this?
Sunday.
What? And he hit your car first, and then your car went into other cars.
No,
You just
I
kept
didn't
going.
go in other cars. I was coming to a stop at a red light, and boom, and then I didn't know he came by me, but didn't know that it was him. I guess he sideswiped the car. I don't get the police report until tomorrow, and so I'm not exactly sure what happened. But I think what happened, he went around me, hit another car. That car went into a car. The people were injured, and he took off down the road. And some people saw him take off, and they followed him, and the police stopped him and got him. But unfortunately, he doesn't
Wow.
have insurance or anything. So see what happens. Not a big
What?
deal. No one got hurt, and everything's fine.
What was the damage to your car,
I don't know yet. It's probably going to be several $1,000s,
Grandpa?
but it's all taken care of from insurance, so it's not an issue.
Good.
So it's really not, because if you have insurance and nobody gets hurt, then you're okay.
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. So anything new in your lives? Interesting? How about you, Brandon? Anything happening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brandon.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just moved to Atlanta.
Oh wow.
De verdad?
Yeah, and I'm voting in the runoff.
There you are. Oh, I thought we'd have to do the show without you, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasting will be a thrill. Grandpa and chill, grandson and friends. Podcasting Grandpa and chill will be a thrill, grandson and friends. With your hosts, Grandpa Barton, Brandon Fox, Phines Jackson, and Sierra Dawes. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Oh, fun.
You're
Yeah.
doing what in the runoff?
Voting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, I got here. It was like 13 hours, and I did it over 2 days. It was crazy, and
Wow.
I put together a bed and yeah, it's been a long week.
Well, if you got up at 6 in the morning to go down there, and you should have been able to get down there in one day.
Yeah, but I woke up at 2 p.m., so I was kind of a different story.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, woke up at 2, left at 4, stopped at 2:30 in the morning, woke back up at 11, and then got here at like 4. So
Well, where did you stop on the road? Where did you stay overnight?
Gastonia, North Carolina. So I started driving in like a very bad rainstorm. But the rain only started once I got to like Virginia, and so I couldn't see anything, and it was a lot of big trucks, and I was very late at night. I was very tired, and I was driving that from like 11 p.m. to 2:30 in the morning, and then finally I was like, I can't drive anymore. So I got off at like a random exit. It was a town called Gastonia. So
Did you sleep in your car?
no. I got a little hotel for a night. So
Oh.
Yeah, we had a real heavy rain here that day, that evening. Very
Wow.
heavy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got there safe, man.
How about
All these
How
car
about you?
adventures.
Phines or Sierra? Anything interesting in your life last week?
No, not nearly as exciting as those two things. No, like, did you see any cool sights, Brandon? I'm sorry, I'm interested in your travel.
Tons of beautiful fall trees on highways, and like that's it. This a long. Grandpa, you're like a pro driver, aren't you? I mean, you had 200,000 miles on your car or something, right?
Well, the last car I sold, I had 353,000 miles on it.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
353, but the one now, it's already up to 111,000.
what'd you do when you hit 200,000 on your old car?
200,000? I
Yeah.
figured I was just getting started.
You told me you kissed it. You made out with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to react to that.
Your words. You said you kissed your car when it got to.
Oh, I kissed it. Oh,
Okay, yeah.
okay.
No. What about you,
Oh,
Sierra? How you doing?
I'm gonna try to actually have like a normal camera angle today.
okay.
Nothing happens. What's happened? I don't know. I'm gonna order an air fryer after we get off the call today. So
I've
that's
heard that's the big craze. The air
Hey,
fryer.
can you guys hear me? Okay.
yeah. You sound
Yeah.
good. You sound
Can
good.
you
Is
hear
it
us?
just
Okay.
me or is Grandpa completely frozen?
He's completely
Oh yeah,
frozen. Or he's just
perhaps.
holding a nice face. I mean, that's a jolly face there.
There we go. We're
Okay.
perfect.
Hey, he's back.
Great.
Uh,
Yeah, but air fryer. I'm really excited because
how does it work?
it's basically a big convection oven, and I don't know what a convection oven does, but that's what they keep saying. You know, when someone's excited online about air fryers, there's somebody that's like, "Oh, it's just a big convection oven." So I don't know, but it's basically it lets me fry shit with like a couple tablespoons of oil versus like a cup. So
Oh,
I can put like a couple spoonfuls of oil in there allegedly and make like like 2 quarts of french fries or like a whole thing of fried
wow.
wings or uh a whole batch of egg rolls or
Oh, wow.
like they like you can put anything in there like it's an air fryer but you can put anything in there. You can like crisp up
Wow.
vegetables, you can
Anything.
throw a turkey in there if you got,
I don't know about turkey.
well, not a turkey, but like if you got like some chickens, some Cornish hens, you can throw that. You can
Wow.
roast shit, put a
Mm,
roast in it.
hmm.
So I'm ready
Sounds
to
interesting.
indulge in all of the fatty, oily things with minimal
Mm,
consequences.
What if I
nice.
put in my air fryer? That'd be great.
Grandpa, can you hear us?
I bet marshmallows in the air fryer would be pretty cool. Grand, Grandpa,
Yeah,
Barton.
I'm on now.
Okay.
I had lost connection, but now back on, I think.
Okay.
I'm not host, so I can't.
I will
Uh,
switch you right
great,
now.
great.
Ba-da-da-day, what'll do? That's not the button.
Hey, does someone want to have some fun and intro the show today? That's not me.
I'll do it, but I also have to tell you something before we start. That
Uh
that was probably important. I can't clearly do things and talk at the same time.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. I have to send you the screenshot later, but you need to change your password. Because I tried to sign in on Zoom and it was like, this password was found on a list in a data breach. Do you want to change it now or later? And I was like,
which password?
for Zoom.
Okay, I don't even know what password it is.
I could
What's?
I can
Yeah,
send it to you after, but I saw that and I didn't want to forget.
great. Thank
Oh,
you.
good
Thank
idea.
you.
Yeah, good. That was good
Anytime
thinking.
someone says I need to tell you something before something, my heart sinks.
You just,
Like,
oh God.
We take data
yeah,
breaches very seriously on this show. It's very
Yeah,
important.
it
yeah.
is. Yeah, it's important.
All right. You guys
Terrible.
ready for this lit intro? Are you ready? I'm so
Are you about to do the
excited.
intro? Yes,
Yeah,
let's do it.
I'm on my second Sprite. I'm so excited. All right.
Sprite doesn't have caffeine.
It's got sugar.
Yeah, it's the black soda. Leave me alone.
It's clear.
What is up, gang? Welcome back to Grandpa and Chill. This is the crossover episode, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, the Friends reunion, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, both Aunt Vivs coming together. This is the crossover episode. We're gonna be here with the Culture Gang, the Culture Podcast. Find them everywhere. You love watching podcasts. They talk about shit all the time, not literally. It's so great. I can't wait for them to show up. I don't know what we're going to do next. Go.
Okay, all right. Grandpa.
Wow.
I told you, Sprite number 2 means we're rolling.
All right,
Wow.
fine. Finest, can you beat that one?
Hello.
This is reading with Phines.
Exactly. That's exactly how I start my.
Yo, I was listening to it yesterday, and I was the Kafka #3 or whatever, and I love it. Reading with Phines. If you're listening to this, go check out that
No,
podcast. But it starts out every time. Hello, I'm Phines, and and it's like,
this is reading with me. Yeah.
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 No,
Welcome.
You said hi. This is Phines, and oh my God, you did something this past episode where it was like a mess up, and then you caught yourself. I don't know.
Probably. Well.
Yeah, you had to
Anyways,
be there.
probably.
Expert
Um.
level. That's what I'm saying, bro.
So this week we are going to have a crossover episode with the culture. I am your host, Pat Coast host, Finest, and our other host is
Grandpa?
yeah. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Is
I'm in
it
a
just
fog.
I thought,
Are we
I thought,
are we doing a
no, I
podcast?
thought I thought it's usually Brandon. I feel like I was hosting and Brandon, but Brandon was just like, let's just watch this train wreck, huh?
Oh, was I supposed? Yo, Grandpa, I give you shit every week for not saying Grandpa, but that's hard. That's really hard.
For whatever reason, your audio volume is very low, Brandon.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
I'll boost it. Let me boost
Oh, okay.
it.
All right.
What
Maybe I
better?
should intro. Maybe when I say I'm your co-host and then here's
Is
your
that
my
better?
other-
Yeah, let me boost
My
it.
mic wasn't plugged all the way in.
Oh,
Shit.
no.
Thank you.
There we go.
Testing 1 2. That would have been so bad.
We're good. We're good, I think.
Use browser settings. Scarlet
Well, Sierra
You know
did
what?
such a great job on this,
She did.
and
testing.
I
Freaking
don't even want to
crushed.
try to.
I freaking
compete with
crushed
that.
it. I
Really?
crushed
What we
that
should do,
intro.
Brandon, when you about to bring in the next person, when you like doing the host and intro, you just like give them like I don't know, like a
What do I
cue
do?
so we
I
know.
do something?
No, I'm saying so we know which one to say. Like, oh, it's me that's saying next. Hello. Like,
You just need to be like my black co-host,
there it
my
is.
old partner in the show, my black producer.
Yeah, but what
the
if I'm
lady
like
that's here?
Labels.
What if I say
Label
my
it.
black co-host and then Grandpa answers?
Then we just need to stop doing intros.
You mean I'm that dense, huh?
I think it's more fun when people don't know who to say. Like that's my favorite. When I listen back to the episodes and I hear Grandpa not responding, like that's fun. I don't know. I like it, but
Well, one time I went to Jared, that's Brandon's brother, to one of his school things for grandparents, and they called everybody, and they called all the grandparents, each student, and I kind of like didn't catch on when Jared called me, and he was kind of disappointed. So I don't want to do that to you guys. I don't want
what
mess
what
up.
happened?
Each kid got up and talked about their grandparent, and the grandparent had to acknowledge that something, and I totally lost it. I didn't even remember that he had gotten up. He was very disappointed for about a year.
That's funny.
You didn't even realize that it was your grandkid.
Yeah,
class.
I must have been daydreaming for a change.
You're just waiting for that coffee and bagels at the end.
Right.
Wow.
Funny.
Yeah. Finest, that was great. Sierra, that was great. I think we have to hear the intro from Grandpa now.
Well, I think that Phines did a great job, but I think Sierra has a real profession there with announcing. Have you ever thought about doing that in a professional way?
Oh
She's
yeah,
a-
I am.
Pro
Yeah.
VO, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a pro VO actor.
No, I was working in radio for like 5 years.
Oh, you did. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you worked in what part of radio? What was your job?
I was on air most of the time I was on air the whole time, and that was when I was learning. That's where I learned to edit for podcasts, and I was on air. I would do newscasts. I would do little ads and extra things.
Yeah, because you really have an upbeat personality. It's good.
Yeah, by far you have the best voice on the podcast for sure.
Good shit. Got my
But
solar pals here today, guys.
I'll just I'm gonna add energy to my voice acting.
all right. Do the most energetic intro you can possibly do. No, can I do an impression of your first intro?
Yeah.
Hello.
That's too excited. Bring it down a little.
Bring it down.
Hello.
All right, finest gang's all here. We want to see it.
What is going on?
I don't know. I had 2 sprites, and clearly I shouldn't have.
What are
Those are the people cheering me on to get me to be an exciting intro.
These are my solar pals. Pretty
Oh,
sure they're from the dollar
I'm
store.
on speaker view, not gallery view. There we go. Now I can see them.
Yeah, please.
But you know, Phines, you're very, very witty.
Oh.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, you really are.
definitely.
Makes up for the energy.
You're the favorite. You're the fan favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoken on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah. Wait, and then you said
Hello. I'm sorry. Yes. Oh, you
So-
finished.
I have a question. Brandon, you suggested on an email to me, I think it was an email or a message, that we're doing something tonight that's across, and I didn't really understand what it was, and I didn't know what episode it was, so I'm not prepared.
So when
Maybe you can help me.
when I send you a message on your phone, that's a text.
Okay, text.
Sorry, that sounded super mean. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. But basically, we're doing a crossover episode with another podcast that found our podcast, and we're super interested in collaborating. So the co-hosts of that are going to come on, and like this episode will be like Grandpa and Chill with the culture. And then we're going to go on their show, or whoever wants to go on their show on a Sunday that they record, and we're going to do their show as well.
Okay.
So they are coming on our show this evening?
Yeah, those are our only guests today.
I see. Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be like talking about something before they show?
No, this is. I think.
What do you think, Phines?
I think this is what we're doing now. Is trying to figure out what we're going to talk to them about.
Yeah, should we?
Is that what you're doing?
should
Is
we
that
do
what this?
that?
Yeah, we can do anything. I don't know.
I want to do the same thing we're doing now with them. Right
our
now.
audience is already listening, I hope, and they'll love this. So
The good. Keep bringing the hits.
yeah. Sorry, I did cut you off. I would love to hear your energetic.
Yeah,
intro.
I'm ready. Okay.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I put too much in that last one. That's it. That's all you got to
That
get.
hay.
That hay was.
Charged up his whole attack and just let it out in that hay.
I wasn't planning on anything after that. I was like, I'm just gonna put it in God's hand at that point.
That's
But
how I'm
now
gonna edit it. Then it's just gonna be, hey, the intro music.
There it is.
That we got
Grandpa,
frauded on.
Grandpa, you have to step up to the podcast intro plate.
Well, you guys are going to have to carry me along because all I know is that we're going to be doing what you call a crossover, which I think of a thing that goes into a speaker cabinet.
Just go with it. Just run with it.
So apparently it involves another podcast that we're going to be on. They're going to be on with us this evening. It sounds really interesting to me. However, that's really all I know about it.
We should maybe we can play.
That's not much of an intro, I know.
No, that's an amazing
it.
intro.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the ad that we did for the previous podcast that we advertised, they loved it, but you had read the directions of the ad in the ad read, and they were like, "What's up?"
What? They didn't like that?
No, I'm sure they liked it, but
It's great.
yeah. So yeah.
Any wacky current events caught your eye?
Well, I'm very interested in the fact that Brandon just moved to Atlanta, and this election that is coming up. I think it's not until like January the 10th.
Yeah.
It's a very important election. Very important.
Yeah.
I don't know that you want to talk politics at all, but I'm
Well,
just mentioning that.
what makes it so important?
It's going to determine which party runs the Senate, which party has control of the Senate.
These are the last 2 seats. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very important election. But
but
I lived in Atlanta for 17 years. Great city. I don't know if you guys.
I would live there. I mean, I don't. I've been there
Yeah,
once, but I have never.
it's a terrific city and very large. It's got a larger population than Philadelphia, but it's mostly spread out. The city itself is not that large a population, but the overall population is very large, and it's a very progressive area.
Is it? I've heard it's pretty warm too.
it's actually colder than New York right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why. It was very weird.
As soon as you got there, they were like, "We gotta make sure Brandon feels
Yeah.
at home.
Turn
We
this
can't."
turn this Truman Show shit down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's cool. Everybody keeps telling me about this place called the Varsity.
Yeah. It's a basically what it is a hot dog hamburger joint. It's
Oh.
very large. It's the busiest restaurant in the country. And what they've got a long counter with probably 20 uh, servers behind it. And you get in line. There's lines behind every server and order a hot dog, a hamburger, fries, that sort of thing. And their food's pretty good. Very close to Georgia Tech. But it's well known because it's been around for 100 years.
Yeah. I was shocked. I thought people were talking about like an exclusive club or something, but it
Not
was
at all.
just a
No,
restaurant.
no, it's just a hot dog hamburger joint. If you want to go to a club, there's a lot of clubs around Buckhead.
No, I don't
That's
want
where
to.
the
I do
clubs
not
are,
want to go to a club right
yeah,
now.
yeah, they're more around Buckhead. But I'll tell you something else very interesting to visit in Atlanta is if it's still around, I think would be, is the International Farmers Market. And they have
Oh.
servers from all over the world. They have food from all over the world. It's a large, basically a large grocery store, but it's quite amazing place.
That
to visit.
That
sounds
sounds
great.
nice. Yeah.
Do you do you know who Outkast is, Grandpa?
I've heard the name, but frankly, no.
Right, they're from Atlanta, and Andre's, I think, from Buckhead.
Hmm.
But no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Grandpa, you got a lot of crazy stories from Atlanta you were telling me on my drive.
Yeah, I lived there for, as I said before, 17 years, and
What
it's a
age?
great
What age
city.
range?
I moved out of Atlanta. I'm 80, so I moved out of Atlanta about probably, let's see, my mother, probably about 15 years ago, 12 to 15 years ago, I moved. So I was there.
Wow.
I was actually there 3 times. The first 2 times I was only there for about a year each time, and the last time I was there for about 15 or 16 years, and really liked Atlanta. But my mother developed Alzheimer, and I came back to where I was born and raised outside of Philadelphia to help with her situation. So,
I see.
yeah.
Wow.
But otherwise, I probably would have stayed there. I have friends there, and thought it's a wonderful city to live in.
Kept calling you back. That's pretty cool. Is that what called you? Or is it's kind of cool that Brandon, your grandson's there?
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it until the drive here. I was like, oh shit, my grandpa following in his footsteps.
He knows these streets.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
loved the city too. Now you're gonna fall in love with this city. It's gonna be how Hallmark. Great.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I feel like out of all of my relatives, my grandpa, I feel like I follow a lot of the same stuff that he did. So
Mhm.
it's kind of
My
good. Yeah, go grandpa.
Yeah. I was just going to say, you and I are more on the same brainwave with regard to politics, politically. Would
Well,
be one
that's
reason.
yeah, but it's the rest of our relatives are much farther than most people politically.
When you gonna get a snake, Brandon?
Excuse me.
I'm not strong enough to unwrap it around my chest.
Okay, hit the gym
Oh
first.
yeah, the snake.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. When you first moved here, Grandpa, did you know anybody? Anybody at all?
No, not really. No.
Yeah, I know zero people here. Like literally I came here for a work opportunity, and um besides that, I know nothing. I don't know anybody. So I haven't left my apartment. So
It's good. It's a pandemic.
That
Oh,
sounds
it's good.
lit.
It's good.
to not, I guess, yeah.
Nobody
Yes.
bothering you. Nobody like, hey, you know how
Well,
you?
I have some old lady friends if you want to meet them.
Yeah,
do.
there you go.
They're in their late 70s and early 80s.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No reason. I mean, you're welcome. I'd be happy to have them call you or you call them if you're interested.
I don't think it would be good pandemic wise to be in the same room as them,
Ah. Yeah.
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 So I'll have to turn it down for their own health reasons.
Right.
But if you're isolated and they're isolated, you're probably pretty safe.
That's true. That's true.
How do you like the fact that Pfizer now is going to have a vaccination maybe by the end of this month?
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get it anytime soon, but we'll see how it goes.
They're about to approve it in hospitals, right?
It's already been approved for emergency use.
Oh, it
It was,
is.
yeah, it was approved today.
Yeah, that's
today
what I saw.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd probably take it. I was complaining a lot, but I, if you gave it to me, if I went to the doctor, if I went to PT and they were like, "Hey, girl, we can ask you 18 more questions, or you can just sit down and take this vaccine," I'd be like, you know what? Yeah.
The only thing that concerns me about it is that I read one article, and I've only read one, that said that the effects of some of these vaccinations are very severe. The discomfort and whatever, but it does protect you. But the effects are very uncomfortable for some people.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, cause it's a two-step vaccine, and like during that period between the first one and the second one, you do feel really really sick, but that means it's working. Like that's a part of it.
Well, what I read was that it's very uncomfortable the first shot, and the second shot is even more uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I had read. But look, I don't know. I think that no one really at this point knows a whole lot other than the pharmaceutical companies themselves.
Yeah.
And the CDC. Yeah.
We have a guest.
All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom right before we get this started, just in case.
Cool.
Should I wait? Should I wait to the guest?
He's here now.
Oh, okay. Let me
Hi,
intro.
Yeah, we've been off air for 20 minutes.
You're right. I was like, well, 7:30. I was like, well, maybe I'll just ran close.
No, fellas, it's fine either way. I'm just waiting for Jeff. I told him 6:55 just to give us some more time just to hear it out. So
yeah,
he should be on his way.
Great.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you guys this evening?
I'm
So
good.
well.
Good,
Hey,
man.
We're fine.
Wow, it's pretty cool talking to someone you heard on a device,
Right?
Isn't that just the beauty of technology?
right?
Hello, Jeff. All right.
cool. So we have.
Oh, he's got merch. What?
Oh man.
Damn.
You know what's crazy? I secretly made a Grandpa and Chill t-shirt and didn't
Mail
show
it
or
to any
tell
of your
anybody.
friends.
Yeah. No, I haven't paid for it yet. But
Oh, he's going to tell you the story about the merch. It's not even merch.
He's wearing it on the show.
I mean,
All right.
Okay, so he would like. So we'll talk about how he kind of got the podcast started, but I just decided to go over his house one day to see how he was doing. Then he has the hat on. I said, "Wait, we have merch?" He said, "No. I was at the mall and it looked cool, so I decided to get it for myself." But you didn't get me one. He's like, "No. I was just getting some for myself." Like, we're a team.
yeah.
We're teammates.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
wonderful.
Can y'all hear me?
There we
Hello.
go.
What's
Hello.
up?
Yo,
Yo,
Good.
what's going on?
how's it
How you
going?
doing?
Pretty good.
Brandon, Finest, Grandpa, what's going on?
How you doing?
Sierra,
Good evening.
All right, so okay,
So we
Jeff
got
and
Jeff
An-
in the Zoom, and then
Jeff is
Anthony
in
in the
the-
clean feed.
Yeah, I'm coming in Zoom in a second.
We're both in clean. They're both in clean feed.
Sweet.
All good.
so I can exit. Yeah, I don't want to join with computer audio, right? Yeah, no.
Now, this gentleman, Mr. De La Rosa, he's not on the podcast that we're hooking up with, right?
yeah, it is.
Yeah. There's
Oh,
they
he
have
is.
two hosts.
Okay, all right. I'm confused
culture.
about the whole thing because I heard
That
sound,
is
but he
my
wasn't-
podcast.
Okay, great.
Wow.
Our podcast. Me and
No, too
Anthony.
late. Too
No,
late.
no, he's wearing a hat too.
So what's going on, man? I mean, I want to get into these introductions. I want to get to know y'all. I want to get to know y'all story.
Yeah.
Where my
No,
man Ann at? I can't even see him.
Yeah, we're just trying to get Anthony.
What is
There
your
we go.
what is your name? How should we call you? How do we refer to you?
Grandpa, you can call me Jeff. Everybody just calls me Jeff.
Jeff. Okay, thanks. And I see Anthony too.
Oh, and Brandon.
Anthony, how you doing?
Brandon.
I'm doing well, man.
Yo, good to have both of you on. Super
Yes.
cool to
No,
make this happen.
And Uwangalena, Brandon.
Yeah.
Yo, no. Yo, it was.
I knew you
it
were
was
gonna
so
kick
nice,
that.
so nice meeting you guys.
Uwangalena.
What's the joke? Did I miss it?
That whack ass story, Brandon.
What you
was
mean?
about
Nah,
with
You
the
was on the
cheetah
episode.
and the
Finest.
owl
Yes.
and-
See. Oh yeah.
My mom
know-
just watched that and she texted me and she was like,
Oh.
"Why'd you do that to Brandon?" And I was
Oh.
like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Why'd you tell him it was so terrible?" And I was like, "Is the rain wet? Is the sky
So-
blue?"
I showed
I have
my
no idea
my
what that story was
sister.
about.
I showed my sister, and the first 10 minutes when Grandpa's talking about his email and all that, like she was dying laughing. It was the funniest thing ever. And then as soon as we get to the story, because she knows it, her face dropped, and she's like, "I gotta go. I have to go in." And I'm like, "I'm moving. I'm leaving. You're not gonna." She's like, "Bye." So
The story's not
yeah.
that bad.
I
It
don't know
wasn't that
why
bad.
I don't. We were about to get the guests online, and then Phines was like, "Brandon, you tell us a story." So
I think
Yeah.
you just told it wrong,
Probably.
dog. I don't know.
yeah,
It didn't
I
go
I
right.
How
listened
come
to
on
your
my
guys.
screen it says Brandon for Sierra? It says Brandon. It says
I
Farthing
steal his
Bank,
account.
which is
I steal his account
funny.
because I don't have.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to pay for Zoom. So,
and Finest.
Fair
That's
enough.
just like an iconic name, Finest Jackson. It's just so iconic.
right.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yo, this is the most eclectic. You guys are the most eclectic and like diverse group of hosts I've seen. Like, obviously the star of the show is Grandpa, and you have your white boy, you have your mandatory one black guy, and then you have the sister. It's so diverse.
Yeah.
My name's
Yeah.
it's just
Like, I
well enough too. It's not too crazy, but it's just
The mandatory one black
I
guy.
feel like
It-
the mandatory one black guy that you have to have on the show.
I got my
more than
token
us.
card. I got my token card in the
Yeah, there
mail.
we go.
We're diverse. It can be more
Like,
than
feel
one of
me?
us.
Yeah, no, we're doing good. No,
Yeah,
we're doing
Yeah,
great.
we fought very hard for
There's
that.
three of us, and there's 3.5 because I'm Dominican, so I'm considering myself Afro Latino.
There you go.
We're not doing this today.
I'm gonna say
We're
there's
not-
3.5
we're not doing
of
this
us.
today. We're not doing this today. We are not doing this today. Not in front
How
of
come I
company.
can't see Anthony on my screen, man? Hold up.
Because I don't want to look at you.
Oh, there you are.
Anthony, you're the.
Yo, why do I
Giants
see
fan.
trees in your
I'm guessing.
background? Where
Are
you
both
at?
y'all Giants fans? Or just
We're both Giant fans. We're both Knicks fans, and the only hiccup is I'm a Yankee fan. He's a Mets fan. But other than that, we have everything else in common.
That's not a
hilarious.
hiccup. That's not a hiccup.
Which is
I'm
how
like-
we came together?
You guys are both in New York
Ah,
City?
New Jersey guys.
New Jersey. Oh,
okay.
I'm from Monmouth
Where are you
County.
guys
What is?
located?
Monmouth
Oh
County.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh shit.
I like the Jets. I don't, but I'm a Pacers
Why?
fan, so I hate
You
the
like the
Knicks.
you like the Jets?
Oh god. Wait, where
I
are you
mean, I
guys
don't
from?
know.
Who raised you?
I'm from Indiana, but I moved to New York, so I live in New York. But
Jesus.
Okay.
And you
I,
hate the Knicks?
well, yeah, I'm a Pacers fan.
Jesus Christ. Oh
He's
my
from Indiana,
god.
man. You gotta.
Yeah,
I guess. I get it. You get a pass for that. I get it. What about Brandon? You said from Jersey?
Yeah, Central, like Jersey
Monmouth
Shore
County.
area. Yeah. What
So that
about you
means
guys?
grandpa's from Jersey.
I'm from Philly, and I'm not too proud of the Eagles right now. They're having a rough
Oh
time.
yeah.
No one is.
Well, Giants are in the division with 6 wins. So
Yeah.
You got 4 wins.
Well, Brandon, I don't know whether I can say
no, we're
this.
gonna have 6 eventually.
Brandon's dad. Can I say something about your dad?
Sure.
Brandon?
He in a way worked for a football team, not as a player. Obviously, he's a super Yankees fan, super Giants fan. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like all the traditional local teams: Yankees, Knicks, Giants, Rangers. The historic New York teams are the ones I root for, not the secondary New
so
York
you don't
teams.
like the Brooklyn Nets? Is what you saying?
No, nobody cares around these parts. Nobody cares about the Nets, regardless of what players they have. They have 2 All-Stars. They don't sell out any game. Nobody goes to the games. They only sell out a couple games when they play the Knicks. Nobody cares about the Nets around here.
What part is this of Jersey?
I'm in Clifton. I'm from Passaic County. I'm originally
Oh,
from Passaic. I
cool.
live in Clifton now.
Yeah. Do you
Sierra,
know
where are you
in
from?
Yeah.
I'm in Illinois, and I'm from Illinois, and I'm still in Illinois.
That's good.
I drove to Chicago once. It was about, I think took me like 12 hours.
Yeah.
My sister lived out there for a little bit, and I drove out there one time.
Yeah.
Crowded as hell. It was like worse than driving in New York.
It is.
You know that there's like a karate or a fighting gym next to a Dunkin' Donuts in Clifton? Yeah,
Say
I
it
used
A
again.
lot of Dunkin' Donuts.
I used to drive to Clifton. I don't know there's a place called ATC Studios. It was like an acting studio that I used to go to every week in Clifton, like right on top of a karate dojo or something like that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
See, now I'm gonna be driving. Every time I pass by a Dunkin' Donuts, I'm gonna be looking out for it.
Yeah. Where's the
Have
studio?
any of you guys been in sports in high school or college? Played any, on any teams?
I sucked in high school. I tried out for different things. I even tried out for the bowling. I even tried out for the bowling team in high school. Didn't make it.
What they say?
I
What was
love basketball though. I couldn't like when I was in high school. Our basketball team, the Passaic Indians, they were very good. I wasn't gonna make that, but I'm better at basketball than anything else. I think I'm a decent basketball player.
Somebody got to serve water.
I love baseball. I just played in a softball league before this whole COVID shit started. I was in a softball league,
Oh, fun.
and then that got canceled. Yeah, like I love sports.
Oh, cool.
How about you,
Anthony
Anthony?
looks like he could be a linebacker though.
I was
What you play?
linebacker.
Ah,
Your big ass.
Thanks, buddy. I love you too.
Were you good? Were you trying to go far with it, or it was just?
Nah, I was cool until one time I got cracked one time and I couldn't like remember my name for like 15 minutes. I'm like, this is not for me.
Oh
Oh my
wow.
God. Yeah.
I'm
That's that CTE kicking in.
Nah, I'm way too smart to be out here just wasting brain cells by bashing my skull in against other people. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I should go a different route.
Do you feel any residual anything from being in football?
If I felt that 15 plus years later, I should probably go see a doctor. But no,
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
no.
My little brother was a lineman for 3 years, and then they were gonna in high school, and he was terrible. He was just a huge guy, and so yeah, he got messed up. It's a super dangerous position.
I mean, I boxed for 3 years until I got knocked unconscious. After that, I was like, this ain't me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 3-year-old, and I think football is the only sport I won't let him play. Like American football.
yeah,
Not with
pretty
it.
crazy.
You just want to
I
send
want
to
to
the
get your.
for the Yankees.
This is kind of off the subject a bit,
Shoot.
but I just want to get your opinion because I find that people from Philadelphia will say one thing and people from all the other areas will say something else. Who do you think would control the ball, Shaquille O'Neal or Wilt Chamberlain?
Ooh. I mean, I think it depends what era. You know what I'm saying? Because the league changes like every 10, 15 years. The rules change. They cater to certain players. They cater to offense. In the 90s, when I grew up watching it, it was defense. Now there's zero defense. Now it's all offense. So, like, I don't think a player like Shaquille O'Neal will be able to play in today's league where everybody's just shooting threes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Shaquille O'Neal will be a bench player, I think, today. Much like Dwight Howard is.
What about Wilt?
I think Wilt is more transcendent. I think he can play in more eras and more different, you know what I mean, than Shaq. I think Shaq was more one dimensional when it came to just banging down low. You know what I mean? All those elbows he was throwing, those are offensive fouls today. They're calling technicals. They're calling all types of charges. You know what I mean? They wasn't calling that in the 90s and in the early 2000s.
LeBron or Michael Jordan?
Jordan.
Oh, here we go.
Let's move forward. Jordan, let's move forward.
We had this topic. We've had this discussion in our podcast.
I know
So
Jordan.
if you go back to listen to the very first episode of our podcast, we break down the top 5 NBA players of all time. And in both our lists, Jordan is number 1.
Jordan, let's just move forward. It's okay. It's all right. We love
But
LeBron. Move forward.
that being said, LeBron is a close second.
You know
LeBron
what's
is a
weird?
close second.
Like I keep looking away from the screen because I'm looking at the television. They're showing like the Christmas thing at Rockefeller Plaza. I'm like, this is not the year for that. Like, this ain't joyous. It's weird. It's like they said Kelly Clarkson performing out there. They got the lights and stuff. I'm like, do you know what hell we've been through these last 9 months?
Now's
I
not
really
the time, Kelly.
I really don't care about this tree. Sorry.
Did I just see a bird flying by?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Rosie.
And Grandpa's
Grandpa,
room.
you want to introduce Rosie?
Well, I don't know if she's not on the screen right now. I actually have 4 little. They're
Look at her.
conures.
There she
They're
is.
like little parrots.
Yeah.
And,
Hey, buddy.
Wow.
but she has to stay separate from the other 3. They'll fight to the death. So,
Jesus
and
Christ.
she's a friendly
Okay.
bird. She's a loving bird, but she doesn't realize that her beaks are razor sharp and very strong and cuts me up all the time. So I have to be careful with her. One time she flew at my face and cut me up. So I'm like trying to be careful with her. So,
In
Anybody
another
need a
third
bird?
world country, you can make some money off of her.
Yeah.
well, does anybody want a bird? Anybody want to
No.
raise a bird? No.
Definitely not.
This is America.
Like I
We're
said,
about 2 steps from a third world country.
He's a handful.
She has a taste for flesh. That's all.
I'm just curious. What type of format do you guys have on your podcast? I've not heard your podcast, and I was just
Come
wondering.
on, Brandon. You
what
gotta
generally-
let your people listen to our show, Brandon. What's going on, man?
Since it's everybody,
I've been listening all afternoon.
Here's the thing. He likes structure. I don't.
I do.
I can
Yin and yang.
You can name me any topic, and I promise you I can talk about it because I think that I'm brilliant. He needs structure. I don't. So when it's running like rambling on is like an hour and some change, it's my fault. If it's less than an hour, that means he's finally taking control of the show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind rambling.
Show.
I think to a degree, I think the rambling is necessary, but I think we also need a balance of structure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to have an idea of what we're going to talk about. You know what I mean? I know you guys' podcast is like a couple hours long. I like to keep it within an hour range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know we live in a microwave era. These millennials and these generation, what is it, Z or Y now, or Z, whatever it is. They can't sit down and listen to anything for more than like 10 minutes. That's why Vlad TV, he just chops all his interviews down to 5-10 minute clips. Because nobody, these kids don't sit there and listen to. They don't listen to nothing for more than 10 minutes. They just don't have the capacity to do it.
What is Vlad TV?
Phines, you want to help or?
I don't know
Sierra?
what that TV is. I don't know what that is.
Bro, what is good?
Go on YouTube and type Vlad TV. He interviews. He interviews celebrities. He's a culture vulture,
I'm gonna regret
and he interviews whatever.
Vlad
But-
Lightly
TV.
regret this.
Yeah, he basically.
I mean, I apologize. I didn't mean to laugh.
I feel
Again,
like I feel silly now.
My first looks
Is it
is
just some egg on
Charlemagne the
my
God
face?
and Boosie's, so I'm already regretting my decision to slap this into my browser history.
Based
Yeah,
on
should
what
probably
you
delete
said,
that.
Anthony, I feel very similar. It happens on this show too, where it's like I don't know, the episodes where I try to structure them the most usually are like the biggest nuclear bombs. Not in a bad way, but sometimes.
See, Jeffrey wants to treat the show like a temple, like very structured and focused. I want to treat it like a playground. Everything all over the place. Kids, sand, dirt. I don't care. Let it
And that's
fly.
why it works because there's a balance
Yeah.
of both. I'm not telling you don't do like I try not to curse in mine. I don't say the N word. I don't say the F word. Shit is literally the only word I've said in my podcast. That's
Yeah.
profanity. Him on the other hand, he's a sailor.
Who, me?
He's a yeah. You're like a
Oh,
pirate,
Yeah, fuckity fuck.
and that's fine. You know what I mean? I let him be him, and we balance each other out.
It's just weird things that I find humor in it. Like again, for some reason, I'm looking at this Christmas special, right? And Megan Trainor's on stage with a gigantic green bow on.
Oh Lord.
I don't know why, but it's awesome to me. I would never wear it to the store, but it's awesome to me.
It's all about the bass.
Yeah, no
there
trouble.
How'd you
Are we gonna
fellas
be on YouTube?
get together on a podcast? How'd you guys get together?
I'll start first. Well, me and Ann known each other for years. We actually met through a fantasy football league that we were both in through a mutual friend. And, we started talking and we discovered that we had a lot of things in common. Like I said, we both like the Knicks. We both like the Giants. We both like baseball. We both like pro wrestling. I've been watching pro wrestling since I was 5, so we would always talk about that. And then it escalated to we were talking on the phone all the time. And our conversations on the phones are similar to what you hear on our podcast. When you hear our podcast, that's what one of our phone conversations sounds like. And we would be on the phones for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. And and we were doing this for years. I'm like, hey, how about we just do a podcast, bro? We could have these same conversations, you know what I mean, and put it out for everybody to hear. And
It makes it sound like we were dating.
and I think we're,
This is how we fell in love.
when I came across you guys' podcast, I saw a lot of us and you guys, you know what I mean? Like you guys
wow,
are diverse,
thank
it's 4 of you, but because we had the same amount of episodes, it was just a free-flowing cast, and I feel like we're diverse in the fact that, obviously he's black, I'm Dominican, but we're diverse in that we can speak about a lot of different things. Like we can be talking about hardcore rap music, and then the very next segment would be about dissecting Disney princesses and how the majority of them are all orphans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys plan segments or?
He does. I just roll with it. I literally just roll with it.
Yeah.
I can literally just hit record and he can talk for hours about whatever. I like to have, like I said, a little bit of structure. Like, okay, let's at least, these what's happening in the world? Like, Mike Tyson just fought last weekend. Let's at least touch on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? LeBron James just scored 100 points. Let's touch on that for a little bit, and then whatever. You know what I mean? And usually we just go, like, if you listen to our last episode, I said goodbye. All right, let's end the show, and we still spoke for another 10 minutes about Hulk Hogan and about nothing. Like,
I'm sorry because
it
it
was
bothers me.
It was actually
It
the
still
best of the
does.
show, the last 10 minutes.
It still does. There's something about your idol. Ooh, I mean, for every kid was Hulk Hogan. When you catch him like saying the N word, it broke my spirit. Like I ate vitamins, I did my push-ups. Thanks, Hulk. I mean, you was making me a better person. Then you was like, hey man, let these ends like, oh God. Not you, Hulk. Not you.
Right.
Not you. Oh, I had so much faith. Like, couldn't we get one good one? Like, nope. Like,
I feel like I lost a lot of heroes in the last 3 to 5 years, for sure.
which one do
They
you,
always
which one
say
do you feel
never
the
meet
worst
your
about?
heroes.
I mean, I'm a huge stand-up comedy nerd, so I grew up listening to Bill Cosby, Louis C.K.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh, Maggie.
Is that where's the was that button? The dun, 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 dun,
We just had an episode where we broke down our favorite comedians, and I said Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are my 1 and 2.
Yeah, Chappelle's he goes back and forth between number 1 and number 2 for me.
Who's
Who's
two?
number 1?
Norm Macdonald is probably my favorite comedian. Yeah.
Oh, he's so underrated.
Yeah, so underrated. Oh my God. And he self-sabotages, so he'll never ever get like superstardom. And then I think Norm Macdonald would say that Chappelle is the greatest stand-up of all time. So,
Grandpa, what about you, man?
You're talking about my favorite in music or in
Comedians.
comedy?
Like Red
I'm
Button.
pretty
About
much
both.
I pretty much lean to music, and I do some recording. Um, I'm with Sinatra and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. But then I love
It's classic stuff.
people like I'm trying to think of some names right now. Um, just Ray Charles is one of my favorites. Ella Fitzgerald, but these are probably people that you're not really all that interested in, because
Whoa,
they're
whoa,
from,
whoa, 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 whoa.
I know. I beg to differ. We are old
I got a
souls,
woman
but we are very
way
old
over
souls.
town. That's good for me.
Parents
Oh,
are in their
yeah.
70s. Listening to Julio Iglesias at the house. You know what I mean? My dad was listening to Julio Iglesias. He has every album. We have Sinatra and the LP. Or what are those called? Those big LPs? Was that what they call records?
right, yeah, vinyls, yeah.
My dad had Beethoven vinyls.
Ooh.
He would throw them on Sunday mornings while mom was cleaning the house. And I was like, what the hell is this? Let's put on some Wu-Tang Clan.
I'm so proud your parents tried to culture you. Mine just didn't. They tried. They failed. Like, I listened to Beethoven on my own. That was not played in my household ever. Like, why are you playing the piano? Like, it's Beethoven. I turn this shit off. Like, thanks, mom. Don't care about Beethoven.
You're a keyboard guy, Anthony?
That's the one instrument I want to learn how to play more than anything else in my entire life. By far. Like, because you said Ray
My
Charles.
favorite instrument.
Right? Because you said Ray Charles, and literally my favorite artist of all time is Stevie Wonder.
Me too.
He's such a great piano
Oh
player.
man, hey,
And it was like, I think it was like 2003. He was at the Borgata, and I happened to get somebody get tickets to hear him sing, and it's amazing. He literally sounds exactly like he does in the record. Like, some people don't sound good live. It's like literally key for key, note for note. I'm like, this is mind blowing. And I mean, we've lost a lot of people, but I've never really like, I've been like, you hear artists growing up and you come close to them, like so on and so forth. I've never cried and like a particular celebrity died, like Michael Jackson or Prince. I think when Stevie Wonder does pass, would happen eventually? That's probably the one moment I will, because it's like I've had such a deep connection to his music, and he was so thoughtful. No, he is. Let me not speak in past tense. Thoughtful and spiritual, and he spoke of the ills of society in such just brilliant way. Like I said, the guy's blind. Like, it's got to be a hard way to get through life, and that is a weird conspiracy theory. Because some people are saying that Stevie Wonder isn't blind, and if he's not, it's the greatest scam of all time. But I'm going to roll with
I've
the fact
seen
that he's blind.
videos. I've
Here
seen
you go.
videos where he's
Here you
like
go.
stopped people from falling, and he's like holding stuff. Like, whoa, how do you see that coming? Like, the mic stand was about to
no,
fall,
okay,
and he caught it.
okay.
I saw that.
I know. I have the answer to your question. Okay. You ever read Daredevil? Like, Daredevil's blind.
Yeah, and I saw the series. It was dope.
Like, all his senses are enhanced. Maybe like Stevie Wonder's blind, and maybe like he felt the wind from the mic falling on exactly where it was, and like caught it.
Stevie Wonder is not a Marvel character, buddy.
You sure? Have you heard Songs in the Key of Life? I would not say that to be true. He's my superhero.
Speaking of music,
I love Stevie Wonder. I love his music. Yeah.
Grandpa knows
who came up with the catchy ass Grandpa and Chill song? That shit is I can't get it out of my head.
Tell you what happened.
The shit is cheesy as hell, but it's the most catchiest shit ever.
Intro.
I'm so glad to get some honest
Let
feedback.
me tell you what happened, okay? Poor Brandon
Grandpa and Chill.
went on Fiverr and was like, hey, gang, I need a really nice, catchy little intro sequence for my podcast that I plan to release commercially, that I would like, the masses to see, eventually, monetize the program. Very clearly explained what it was needed for, and then gave all the information, like it's me and Phines and Grandpa and Sierra and the bird and all the details about the podcast that he planned to release commercially. And somebody wrote the lyrics and put it on this beat, and also gave
Gave it to you for free?
No, he paid for it. He paid for the song, put it together and everything. And so then I edited the song and did like a whole little intro sequence for all the episodes. And as soon as I started to upload them on YouTube, we got a copyright claim. And I said, well, that's
Oh.
impossible because the song is a custom song. It's literally
Right.
got all of our names in it. Like nobody like slapped this onto their EP. It's like, this is the Grandpa and Chill theme song with all their other shit.
Grandson and friends.
Yeah. So we found out basically that the person that he commissioned to make the song just stole this beat, put lyrics on it,
Jesus.
and sold it to Brandon. And
In
so
the Fiverr, I literally asked, I was like, hey, can you make something like, I don't know, the Samurai Jack intro, just like, you know, just like 4 seconds of a beat that you can repeat and like have a song over, like so simple. And then I look it up in the copyright claim. It has 7 million views. So
Jesus.
it was very obviously pilfered. And then when you go on this guy's FAQ or whatever, it's like, oh, if I buy a song from you, can I like use it wherever now? Like, do I own the license to it? And he's like, well, you own, what was it? The lyrics, the beat, and like a little video that he would also give you for free.
oh
Not
man,
this,
the video.
everything but the song, the lyrics,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
vocals.
So did you have
the
to
vocals.
like, pay for the rights? Did you have to like buy the rights to it?
We'll discuss that off air. I don't know. There's
Now, do you guys listen to music on like Spotify or YouTube? Do any of you like listen to music from vinyl records or CDs anymore?
I have
No, we use apps. I use Tidal. I use Spotify. I used to use Pandora. I use YouTube often.
The reason I'm asking you is I happened to be there yesterday. There's a record store in Princeton, New Jersey. Are you familiar with that area?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's called Princeton Record Exchange. It's probably the largest collection of vinyls and CDs in the country in any one particular store. It's terrific. But if
They still
you
make
know,
money?
Yes. There's a
I
whole
don't know.
market for vinyl.
Vinyl's
People,
back.
Yeah.
yeah, people like
I guess-
the only little thing they like collecting it.
Because DJs don't even buy them anymore. They got all these electronic things now. You know what I mean? Where they just scratching on a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a lot easier than damaging a record.
So,
But let me get
Anthony,
this
are you a musician, Anthony?
I am not. I'm just a gentleman of all types of talents, but I'm not a musician. That is the
Okay.
one skill that I am missing. That God did not give me the benefit of having that kind of ability yet.
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 Yeah.
You never know. Like I said, the only thing
So
I
let me
really
get
want to
this
do is
straight.
play the piano.
Is that Phoenix on the picture? That's supposed to be the bird? The Phoenix blowing
that's
fire at the
that-
planet?
That's
Yeah.
the rendition of Rosie. Yeah. Yep.
It makes sense now. Who drew that picture? That's dope too.
That was also Fiverr. I
logo.
got really good deals. Yeah. I shout out to Kitsune Kai on Fiverr. So
Yes.
That's dope. Very catchy.
where did
Now,
you guys
are we gonna be-
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say, are we gonna be on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Because everybody's in their bedroom or in their living room, and then Anthony looks like he's like in the middle of Central Park somewhere with leaves
the
and trees
background.
all behind him.
It's called the background.
Yeah, that's a nice background.
in the
Anthony.
settings?
Is that
Yeah.
for real or is that on a curtain?
Oh no, that's from Skype. I mean, not Skype. Jesus Christ. From Zoom, you can set a background. Don't start looking now,
doing
Jeff.
that.
Let it go. Let it go, Jeff. Let it go.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Grandpa, you thought maybe he was in a forest?
I can't tell. It looks like it could be, real trees or plants.
Thought he was
behind it.
Sasquatch or some shit.
If I'm in a forest doing a podcast, this is the illest podcast of all time.
Yeah, that would be
That
really
Wi-Fi looks legit over there.
I'm podcasting from parts unknown. Like,
Yeah.
that
That'll
ain't
be our
gonna.
first post-COVID episode. We'll just like stream in the woods. Well,
Like,
y'all
where
will.
you-
I'm not
Alright.
doing
I'm on top of a mountain.
that.
Can you hear me? Yeah. You sure? Yeah.
I'm curious.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Where'd you find the intro? There's a woman who's not you guys
Yeah.
or part of the podcast starting out the show, right?
Jeffrey.
That's actually the
Jeffrey?
first voice you hear. No, relax. The first voice you hear is actually my sister.
Got you.
Cool.
I just recorded her doing that, and that's the intro.
Nice.
And then the second voice you hear is actually my wife, who does the individual episode intros. And every once in a while, you hear my 3-year-old son throw his 2 cents in there. Yeah. If I could get him to say episode 15 or whatever,
That's so cool.
That's cute.
And do you
and one of them, he said, I think it was like episode 12. He goes, episode 12, Spider-Man, and it was funny as hell. So I threw it on there. You know what I mean? It was just hilarious.
And now, do you guys
how long have you guys been doing podcasts?
See, but
I
just want
to you guys have.
You see how he came on and he has like his family, his sister, his child, and everything else of that. And he started off saying like, "It's my podcast." See, now you understand where this all comes from. Like I'm just. Yeah,
we can have this discussion off the air, buddy. We can settle this off the air.
I'm just a talent.
Grandpa, we've been doing this since August. So what? 4 months?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have the same amount of episodes as you guys. What we have? This is your 16th episode, right?
We released 15 today, so yeah.
15. All right, so we've done 15. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Our 16th would be on Sunday. We record every Sunday, and then they come on live Monday mornings.
Yeah, I
think
them
and stuff.
Grandpa would be a fun addition to the culture.
How do you have call in the people that are calling into your show?
No. You guys have been more. What's the word I'm looking for? We haven't gotten to that point yet where we have people calling in.
Well,
you guys have been more progressive. It's my in that aspect.
It's really my fault. It's not his fault. It's really my fault because he wants to find the appropriate people to put on there with me. Because if I tend to not like what you say, I wouldn't necessarily say aggressive, but I'm definitely going to be very critical of what you're saying and what you're doing. Like his whole idea, one of them was like, I'm going to get a Trump supporter on the air. Like, are you sure you're going to be comfortable? Like, I'm going to be fine.
Not any Trump supporter. It was going to be an African American Trump supporter, which I think it's a very interesting conversation to have.
I didn't care. If he said anything
Sierra's remotely PTSD flashbacks right now.
If he said anything remotely reckless, I'm telling you, I'm going to tear him apart. And he hasn't.
Needless to say, the guy never came on. We've only had one guest.
I'm asking you. Come on. I'm not holding it against him.
2 points. Firstly, you're so right that when you have guests on and it's not like a predetermined plan of like who the guest is, what you're going to talk about, it can get crazy and go to shit very, very fast. I mean, we had one at actually Grandpa had just left, but it was at the end of an episode, and we had a woman who was a bit of a super conspiracy theorist, and it was
right up your alley, buddy.
40 minutes of insanity.
Conspiracy theory episode a few weeks ago.
That been right up your alley. But the way that Brandon's leading in, I don't think she would have been on now. You might have just hung up like,
y'all weren't ready for that. I can guarantee you. Y'all weren't ready for all of that.
I don't have that kind of.
What were some things she was saying though?
Oh my God! Corona was a conspiracy invented by the American government to kill people.
She said. So I remember this because not only was it insane, but then I had to edit the episode.
She'll hear this.
It's okay.
Sorry, that blew my mind. I apologize.
It's gonna blow your mind further because she was saying that Corona didn't start in China. It started here because because if you look at the trends of economic history throughout the U.S., it follows a pattern, and we were right about to hit the depression part of the pattern. The pattern was about to repeat in another depression. And so the government, in order to hide the fact that there was an inevitable depression coming, created COVID, sent it to China. China sent it back here, and then it erupted here. And so almost all of the COVID drama is just being perpetuated to hide the regular economic depression that was already incoming. She also said She also said that Bill Gates created some kind of infected strain of mosquito and released that into the public, and it just wouldn't stop.
I mean, how long did you guys entertain her before y'all got fed up?
45 minutes. But here's the thing. We learned something amazing about that segment is Grandpa had just dipped out because we went over our allotted time. And I think if he was there, it would have been very different. And so like from then on, I don't want to have an episode or even a segment where like Grandpa's not a part of the conversation, because when he's online, people, all of our guests, there's like a vibe. Honestly, I
There's
don't
more
want to.
respect.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, and Grandpa's the. Sorry, Grandpa, you're one of the nicest people I've ever met. And then when we talk about politics, he does not give a fuck about really stating his opinion. So
It wasn't
Fair enough.
even about Grandpa being there. Brandon just kept asking fucking questions. And like this was before we were having guests on Zoom, so it was just like the three of us on there. So he could see my face when I was like, stop asking questions. And she would talk for like 10 minutes, literally, and then finally finish the thought. And I would be like, okay, and now wrap. Now we're done. It's over. And then I just look at Brandon. I could swear Brandon would like look through the camera right at me and be like, "So can you elaborate a little
glint
bit
in
more?"
my eye.
Do you got her email? I could have her on a follow up of our conspiracy
Jeffrey?
theory episode.
Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Jeffrey?
Grandpa.
These are crazy times, aren't they?
It's
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Very nutty times.
I just want my air.
I mean, the only conspiracies we were talking about were, are aliens real? Do aliens exist?
amateur
UFOs?
stuff.
Yeah,
Was
Deep
9/11, 9/11, was that a hit job or whatever? Was it
Weak
really Bin
sauce.
Laden? Like, stupid shit like that.
We're way beyond that now.
Right.
are we?
Way too late for that stuff.
Mm-mm. No.
I was curious, like, so Jeff, you approached Anthony with the idea for the show.
That's how I remember it, yeah.
Grandpa, you okay?
Oh, that bird trying to attack.
Oh, I don't want that bird. That bird's a cannibal.
I told you guys.
Doesn't
she
like
has
you,
a
Anthony.
taste for flesh.
What did I do?
Her back in her cage. Does Rosie have a cage?
Yeah.
Yes.
She does.
She
Yeah.
does.
Poor
Yeah.
Grandpa.
She can really hurt you too. I'm always concerned about her getting in my eye because she got pretty close one time. She's in the
Pull
cage.
one of them
now.
eyes out immediately. Rosie ain't fucking around. She doesn't care what you're doing tomorrow, boy. She does not
It's not
care.
funny to any of you
something to
fellas
her.
need a bird. Anybody want a bird?
Say something to Rosie. I dare you. See what happens.
How are you going to offer me a bird after I just saw the bird like assault you?
Exactly.
I'm like, that's like
Do you
saying
a
like
challenge.
no, it's like saying come get this pit bull. You see the biting a little child. Like nah, no. I'm okay. I'm okay. You sure? I give him to you half off. Like nah,
Half
it's eating an 8-year-old. No, keep him. Thank you.
I want to hear from Phines, though. I feel like Phines hasn't spoken much.
Yeah, I got a bunch to say. I've been writing down notes. First of all, hands down, my favorite artist is Stevie Wonder. Been seeing him on concert with my dad. Loved it. It was the time of my life. I've been a bunch of concerts, but that's my favorite. So kudos to that.
Question, though.
Also, yes. Go ahead.
Now, are you a Stevie fan because of the connection that it brings with your dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've been to concerts with your dad. So is that one of the reasons why you like Stevie? Because of that connection?
No,
That's one of the reasons why I love baseball, because that reminds me of me watching it with my dad growing up. That's like the only, that's the sport my dad used to watch.
Yeah.
And I remember, watching it with him.
Well, for sure, because it's his favorite artist. So much so that he I have two sisters. I have three sisters, but two of them are named after like Stevie Wonder stuff. My dad's a music head, but so I am positive that his influence on me makes me really like Stevie Wonder. But I just like all music in general. But that Stevie Wonder concert I took to him, we've only been to one together, and that was the one I picked for him, and I knew he was coming to Indy. So, but I was already I guess it's both. Yeah, it's because of my dad and because I like Stevie because he's that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
He's and definitely wrote my notes. He is blind though. That dude's blind.
He's blind.
He's blind. Broke it down. He's blind. I agree with the Daredevil thing. I just think maybe he has some higher senses.
Yeah, he's been blind since birth.
I agree with Anthony too. I understand the talent. All right, I get that.
See, all
right, it's okay.
We're here.
It's all right. I you know what though? I like it because I'm playing the role. No responsibility. I'm okay with riding the talent strain.
You just show up. That's all I got to do.
Personality. That's it.
7:00. All right, I'll be there.
This is something when you guys were talking about structure of the show that I really wanted to ask Phines, because like Grandpa and I used to have like specific topics that we would bring on, and then it keeps changing. We're still playing with it, but like then it became like, oh, a free for all. We'll find stuff, and yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like when I try to impose structure, like I take away from Grandpa or Finest or Sierra, like,
Yeah,
So
I feel you. Like there's certain weeks where it's slow, where nothing's happening in the world or in sports, and we just wing it. We just talk. But like I said before, there's certain things happening. I write down my notes. We got to touch on these topics. You know what I mean? On these topics,
We
and
don't.
then we tail off.
I think it
Yeah.
depends on what type of setup of like a podcast it is. I personally like free balling it and just like kind of just letting it happen organically and without any
Panic,
like
yeah.
motive, but I also like really short episodes too. So like I want
We
I
know.
want to like almost like yeah.
Brandon be having you sitting for 2.5 hours
Oh
out
my
here.
god.
I try not to go over 45 minutes, but it's usually an hour. Once you add the intros and the outros and the music and all of
I
this
think
stuff, you know what I mean?
it makes it fun when you have a time limit too. You're gonna start pushing stuff in there. I think it puts the creativity. Like, all right, I got 45 minutes to talk about shit,
Yeah.
or whatever.
I already talk fast enough. How fast you want me talking 45 minutes?
Well,
Like
that's
like
good.
like this
You
is me
gotta,
slowing it down.
you gotta be concise. Then you gotta be like, all right, this is how I feel. Boom,
Like this is
right
how I
there.
feel. I hate the Jets next door.
Exactly. See, okay, and I don't. They all right. They're okay.
Look at their record. No, they're
No, they're
not.
not.
Next door.
They suck.
You know what? I got.
You stay concise.
I don't even play. I don't even watch football. I do play fantasy football pretty even crazy, but I only do it for the numbers. And I follow basketball way closer. That's the only really sport I follow close.
Fantasy football is one of the worst things that has ever happened to humanity.
No, I think that's how they should
But we
start.
can't stop doing it. We can't stop playing it though.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like because fantasy football is the only thing I know that will make you actively hate the players on your own team. Like, oh my god, I got Darnold on my team. He's out here fucking up again. Or if it's like, or it's a team you actually hate, but you happen to have drafted them. Also, they get you like 20 points. Like, I still hate the Cowboys, but thanks Zeke. It's just the weirdest relationship. It's
I
kind of
don't like
painful.
the like you were talking about getting hit as a linebacker. I don't like when we play fantasy football and we were like, man, I hope that person get hurt so I can win. And I'm like, you don't even think about that person like
That's
really getting messed
What I
up.
the guy down
I
there,
hate is
Jeff.
when you're
That's
in
him.
a position. Shut up. I hate when you find yourself rooting against your team. You know what I mean? Like when you have
Yeah,
players that are playing against the Giants, and I'm like, damn, I need this guy to do really good, but I want him to do good, but I want the Giants to still win. Like I want this guy to get 2 touchdowns, and then I want the Giants to win by 3 touchdowns.
yeah.
The issue that comes between me and Jeffrey is this. I am, I want to say this nicely. I am no longer emotionally invested in sports anymore. So I enjoy my teams. I enjoy watching them, and I like them. And like I enjoy the experience of doing so. And I leave it at that. I used to be one of those people like when the Giants lost, I was really considering like putting a hole in the wall, like those kind of sports fans. Like this, and they just get like if you go in a sports group stuff like that, there are guys that are just obsessive, rabid fans that just live and die off every little thing that a team does. Jeff is one of those people. He seems like a very nice guy, but let the Yankees lose 5-4 to the Orioles. He's going to lose it. He's flipping over tables. He
My wife will
cannot
tell
stand it.
you,
And I'd
I
be like,
lose sleep when my teams lose, bro.
I,
see, I
I,
can't be
I
emotionally invested in that.
I got over
I'm
it
sorry.
as soon as they started getting younger than me and richer than me, and I was like, I'm a hater now. Forget this.
The Knicks have been trash for my entire existence, and I still get pissed every time they lose, even though I know they're gonna lose every game.
I
I
don't know
still
how you
get
do it.
pissed.
I love
I'm
it.
sorry.
The very first thing I did when I came from Indiana to New York was went to the Knicks Pacers game because they played the first day I got up here, and
Mm.
I already knew. I was like, man, we're gonna beat they ass. Oh, it's gonna be so nice. Um, it was great. Madison Square Garden is a really, really good stadium,
Mhm.
though. I think it's really nice. I know what I didn't like Yankee Stadium like I thought I would.
Really.
It's old.
Yeah, I haven't been to Shea though. I
It's
haven't
not
been
high
to-
tech. They like to keep it class. The whole Yankee organization always like to, keep the things classic and old school. You know what I mean? They don't.
Yankees
There's
reminds
nothing
me like
modern
a
about it.
prison kind of. It feels like prisony.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the local team, though.
Yeah, I don't want
yeah.
to. I'm sorry. It seems
You say what?
jailish. I don't want to wear stripes. It seems jailish.
And that's what I was saying. I said to myself while I was in the stadium, I was like, they wearing
Never thought
stripes.
about it like that,
It
but
feels like
okay.
it feels like a little bit like a
Big facts.
Because you can't say pinstripes because pinstripes are thin, right? They look like little prison bars going all the way across their uniforms, and there's no names, just little numbers. Because this is how we want you to be.
it's like a
Why
stadium
you
and the
making me see things
gladiators.
about my
It's like
stadium that I don't want to
it's like
see?
it's like the gladiators and and they're in, you know how
They get a thumbs up and a thumbs down, like
what's that dude's name? The slave Socrates. Is that his name? Well, the one that had a Spartacus.
mhm.
Spartacus. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm comparing sports to
This is why people
Philosophy?
podcast.
yeah. I mean, that's what I
This
did.
is,
Yeah,
this is why people
Yeah,
podcast.
philosophical in here.
it just makes me think of the Yankee Stadium. It's a bunch of like Spartacus is out there, and they're wearing pinstripes, and we're like, yeah, go ahead. In a
It
prison,
doesn't help that they were one of the last teams to integrate as well.
or were they?
Yeah, that kind of
I
blew
didn't
your
know
high.
Yeah, they're one of them. Boston. Yeah, they're one of the last teams to have black people on their team,
That
unfortunately.
all makes sense to me then. I get it.
But we're moving forward. We're moving into the right direction, folks.
If you say so.
I'm just saying, I don't have any hair to lose, so
I was on another topic though. You said you had Spotify. You know the Wrapped came out today.
Yes.
Did
The who?
the Wrapped that they wrap up all your like what
Most
you listen
listened
to all
to.
year,
Yeah.
and they give you your
Yeah.
stat.
Ah,
yeah, I saw that. I was shocked. Like I've been listening. Who?
Yeah,
Wait. Oof.
good.
Yeah.
It just
What-
shows you.
any of you guys like hip hop at all?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to your last episode. You were talking about sitting at the table with Nas and Dave Chappelle and
Yeah.
Barack Obama.
Yeah,
And Oprah.
I think like
Yeah.
Another-
What's-
obviously you want to have at least one person that's funny that'll make you laugh, but I want to speak to people that are like gonna stimulate me. You know what I mean? Mentally,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take away something.
That's
Pops,
the
who would you
thing.
sit at a table with for dinner? Grandpa.
Well, do you guys? I know we're not discussing politics much, but do you guys keep up to date with the politics? I'm not asking you to discuss it, but do you keep up to date with the politics that are going on right now?
Sure.
Are you
Absolutely,
familiar? Yeah. Okay.
absolutely, because it
I think
affects
it's a very, very serious time. I mean, you know.
when we created. I'm sorry, Anthony. When we created the podcast,
About damn time.
I wanted it to be abroad. I didn't want to stick to just one topic. I knew we were going to mainly speak about, the things we like, sports, hip hop music, but when it's the culture as a whole. It's not just hip hop culture, but it's, music, sports, what's happening in our communities as well, and that, that has hip hop politics is a part of that. I don't want I always tell them like, I don't want to talk about Trump too much on our episode. I don't want to talk about, but when it comes to like police brutality and stuff like that, we touch on certain topics that we have to touch on, you know what I mean? And then we keep it moving. But yeah, politics, we in a couple of our episodes, we've dove into, some of the politics.
He don't want to touch it. I do. But like I said, I don't care. Like I'm the talent.
I just don't want
We
to
have the
alienate
same-
our fan base, you know what I'm saying?
We have the same.
Like I don't judge
dynamic.
anybody. I'm very opinionated on stuff. And it's gotten me in trouble a lot, even with family, because I usually speak my mind, but I don't judge people. Like I've been open on our episodes about being agnostic. Like I'm not religious. I don't believe in organized religion. I'm completely against it because I've seen what it's done to people close to me. I've seen what is broken up families. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't judge anybody who is a Christian, who is Muslim, Jehovah's Witness, Catholic, Pentecostal. Like I have all of these in my family, and I'm friends with these people, and I've been to all of these churches. Like when I could speak on them. I feel like I'm not ignorant on these topics, but I don't judge as long as you respect, my views. I'll respect yours. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to alienate anybody that might be listening. So I try to, to be edgy, but at the same time, try to not offend as much.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony doesn't care. He'll offend anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Hey.
Say what you got to say,
Right.
Ant.
Why are
What
you
do you mean?
muzzling yourself, Anthony?
Because he was naming off different religions and like Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, okay, like I don't have a problem with Jehovah's Witnesses. I just hate that they knock on my door at like the worst possible times.
I took Bible studies with them for a long time.
I know, and like it's
I
like
can
okay,
speak
man.
on them.
but here's the thing. I was talking about this with a friend of mine like a couple weeks ago. Like because like you believe that your faith can guide you through anything, even this pandemic that we have going on. And I thought of something. I was like, you know what? It's been a few months and them Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my door all of a sudden. Like, how strong is your faith that all of a sudden you were knocking on the door when everything all good, but it get a little raggedy out here? Like, you're gonna pull back? Like, no. Be a person of faith. Knock
Here's
on
my
my
thing.
door. Go ahead, shoot.
Here's my thing about faith, and I don't want to offend. I don't want to keep dragging on this conversation. We could change the topic, Brandon.
Because you're scared.
But
Okay, come on.
no, because I don't know what what their beliefs
I,
are. And
I'm Jewish. I have no stake in anything you've said so far.
See? He got no skin in
because
this game.
this is the thing about faith. I don't like blind faith, and also if any of your beliefs, if just one little thing about any of your beliefs is to be questioned, then the whole thing needs to be questioned. You know what I'm saying? Like if you believe in the Bible and I find one single solitary sentence in the Bible that's incorrect or off, then I got to question the entire book. And if I have to question the entire book, I have to question the entire belief. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I go back to Jehovah's Witnesses because I was in there and I know they predicted that the world was going to end on like 3 separate occasions. The first time you were wrong, that's it. You know what I mean? Let alone the second or third time. Then I have to question the entire religion. If you were wrong once, twice, 3 times, I have to question everything about the religion. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at.
Like we supposed to be out of here by now. This is your 3rd time. We're gonna do this again? Again?
So then at that point, I can't believe anything else you said up to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
I think
Yes.
it can be a really good thing for some people, right? Like a guiding star or
Sure.
just having a faith. And then I don't agree with the argument that like it makes people bad because groups of religions have done really bad things. I think people do bad things and then they do it in the name of
Right.
something that they want to do. But
Like for example,
I lost faith. I lost my faith. But
like I said, I've been to many churches. Like I grew up, half of my family was Jehovah's Witness on my dad's side. On the other side, on my mom's side, they were Catholic, and they're all Catholic to this day. And I remember going to Catholic church with my mom, and I would see why. And I would always ask. And as a little kid, I was always, if you can't answer my questions, then I gotta question you. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be able to answer my questions. Like, Mom, why are they passing this basket around 2-3 times in this 1 hour? Why do they need this money for? Oh, they would always tell me, whatever you give, God is going to multiply it. Like, that's not a sufficient answer. I remember seeing the candles with the saint, Virgin Mary's and the saints, and you had to put a quarter in the machine for the candle to come on for a couple minutes for you to do a prayer. And I would question that. Like, why do you have to put money in this to pray to God? Why does God need money? What does he need money for? And, I as a small child, I always had a lot of questions. And it gets to a point where they would always give you the cop-out answer, like, "Oh, God works in mysterious ways." Well, guess what? That's not sufficient for me. That's not a sufficient answer for me. That's a cop-out.
That's fun.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that was always my mentality. Like, if God works in mysterious ways, I'm sorry, that's not sufficient enough for me.
I had the same thing happen to me, that I used to be agnostic and then even fell out with that, basically. So.
Jesus, wow, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
say Jesus a lot.
No, yeah. You're not agnostic, Jesus.
Jesus is like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, he's like, there's so many fucked up things about that sentence for me, like.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I called my grandfather actually one day because I sort of like, I had this belief system of like, I didn't believe in religion, but sort of like the universe. And then I just stopped believing in an afterlife and all. It just didn't make sense to me. And that was scary. So I called my grandpa and he had a lot of really good things to say about it. But
Grandpa is Jewish?
He has his own philosophy though.
Yeah, I have my own beliefs. Yeah, my own philosophy.
You care to share them?
I think that, well, basically, I believe that the Creator's mind creates all of our awareness. Everything that we're aware of is being created by the mind of the Creator, and that's a very simplified version of my belief. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, for example, I was always torn with the idea of the creator gave us free will, gave us an open mind for us to make our own decision. Wait, am I wrong?
I'm not sure about that, but that's part of the illusion is that you have free will. Yeah.
But that's how I was always taught. You know, you have free will, you have the right to believe in what you want and to go about your business. But if you don't make the choices that I want you to make, I'm going to punish you. To me, that's not free will. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I placed, you know, if you believe in the Bible, the Christian Bible, Adam and Eve is placed in this garden. You can eat from every tree except this one. Like, I don't want you to, guess what? That's the one we're going to gravitate towards. It's like you tell your baby, don't eat from this candy jar. Guess what? He's going to put his hand in that jar because curiosity is a bitch. And you want to know, hey, what's up with this tree? Why can't I eat from this tree? The tree of knowledge. Oh, so you want me to be ignorant. You want me to leave my existence ignorant the whole time. Like that, to me, that's that. The way I put it together, I was like, that's a dictatorship. You know what I mean? That's a dictatorship. That's not freedom at all.
Yeah, well, I guess my belief in terms of free will, it's a lot stronger thing than that our entire consciousness is being created by the mind. There's only one mind, and you have the illusion of free will, but whether we really have free will or not, I don't know. I don't know that any of us in this worldly reality knows that answer.
That's interesting. We could probably spend a whole episode on that. Brandon, you say you were Jewish?
Yeah.
I mean, is that like Hasidic? Is that like a non-practicing Jew?
So my ancestors were very, very Jewish. My grandfather is like a Holocaust survivor, and his father was, I believe, a rabbi. And I was raised Reform, but then for me, it's always been a cultural thing, not really a religious thing, you know? So I don't like, you know, when I went to temple, which I got a bar mitzvah, but my parents sort of made me, like, the first time I opened the Torah, it's like this lamb skin from like hundreds of years ago. And I was the first person to rip it as soon as I opened it. So like,
oh my God.
I was like, maybe this is not for me, you know? It's kind of all downhill.
I know people
there, but
I know people that roll blunts with Bible papers. You know, they roll joints with Bible papers because it's very thin.
Like the original Bible papers, or like a copy you can get at like, you know,
the
like
store brand.
Yeah. This is lambskin. Like this was like an ancient text. So
damn,
you broke it.
Yeah,
you're going to hell.
Yeah, that's the nice thing is we don't believe in it. I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think so.
That's the thing. One time I told somebody that I was atheist, and pick that up, Grandpa. I told somebody I was atheist one time, and then that person told me I was going to hell and that I was a Satanist. I'm like, no, because I don't believe in him either. Like, if you don't believe in God, what makes you think you believe in Satan?
Checkmate.
Like, they go hand in hand. You know what I mean? That was an ignorant comment.
I had a roommate who was the chillest roommate I've ever had, and then revealed to me he was a Satanist, and I was like, "Damn, you're like one of the nicest people I've ever met." Like,
but have you actually done your research on Satanists?
Satanists are pretty chill, right?
I haven't.
My tattoo artist is a Satanist, and he's the nicest guy you will ever meet.
Yeah.
And you know, when he explained it to me, they believe in Satan as an idea, because he freed himself from the tyranny of God. You know what I'm saying? That's the idea. They don't believe in a physical devil. They believe in the idea of a Satan. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like they're worshiping the devil or worshiping evil. No, the way he explained it to me is the idea of Satan. He's the fallen angel that broke free from the tyranny of God. And he just wanted people to be free. He wanted everybody to live their life. You know, they don't believe in doing harm. You treat others as you want to be treated, but you live your life freely. You don't judge anybody, and so forth. And when he put it like that, I was like, huh, it makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe we're just in purgatory. Yeah.
Right, but when people hear the word Satanist, or you know, they're like, oh, it's evil. You're killing babies. Like, relax. That's not what they're doing.
There is an extreme. There's an extremer sect that does believe in magic and performs sort of rituals,
satanic rituals.
Yeah,
don't invite them on.
I would love. That would make an interesting episode. I
Because
think.
if they start doing magic tricks in front of you, like I don't think it's
That's
gonna
what
be
I said.
cleared by YouTube.
And that's what I said about the Black Republican. I wanted to have him on because I thought it'd be interesting. I just couldn't promise the guy that Anthony wasn't going to say anything ignorant to him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Well, can you
here's
promise
the thing.
Anthony that he's not going to say anything ignorant?
But because here's the thing,
No.
there's it's not like Black Republican isn't like a I'm trying to find the right word.
Like the way the guy told me is, historically, African Americans were always Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Like Abraham Lincoln was Republican, like Martin Luther King was Republican. But then you also get the other side where the parties they changed, they switched up. You know what I mean? In the last 40 years, yeah.
Being a Black Republican is not an oxymoron, but people think so. Because the thing is that most people have this feeling that the Republican Party is quote unquote evil. But more than anything else, they tend to be conservative. And if you know anything about pretty much like older Black people, their views are really conservative. But it just doesn't seem that way. You think they're going to vote in other interests, like because they think that Democrats are the party of Black people when it's really not. When no one really is in favor for anybody, it's whoever can influence the vote and how we go forward from there. So to have him on would not have been an issue to me. As a matter of fact, I really wouldn't have cared. As long as he made functional, rational, valid points, I would have been okay with it. If he would have hopped his ass on there and said, you know what, you got to support Donald Trump because he's done more for Black people than anybody else, I probably would have pulled out whatever little less of strands of hair that I have left because I cannot deal with people who say silly, stupid, ignorant things like that. Not calling the person ignorant, but when you say something just like fully not thought through, it bothers me because you're an adult. Like you've been through school, at least through high school, maybe some college. So you're marginally educated. So for you to say something that stupid, I really worry about the educational system of America and are we really doing a good job? Because you're a fucking idiot.
Well, the Republican Party or the so-called conservative party is very convoluted right now. It's a very convoluted. You can't. Normally, I've never seen anything in my lifetime like what's going on right now. And people that have conservative values necessarily, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with them. But what you have going on right now is really more a complete convoluted situation as far as what conservatives have always believed in, smaller government and whatever. But I think it's such a messed up situation right now that it's hard to make a judgment about anything.
What I learned this year.
What
I learned this year is that people are very loyal to their ideals. Conservatives are very loyal to the Republican Party, like regardless. Like if you don't believe in abortions, you're voting for Trump no matter what because he represents your party. He represents conservatives. You know what I mean? If you don't believe in abortions, if you're very religious or you're a very hardcore Christian, you're voting Republican no matter who's on there. It could be Satan as the candidate, and you're voting for him because that's the guy representing. Like, so in that aspect, I feel like Republicans are very loyal to their party, as where liberals and Democrats they're not as loyal to to one party. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, you know what? I don't like neither of these. I'm not voting this year. You know what I mean? They have no problem doing that. Republicans are not doing that. They're voting for their person.
What's Satan's platform? like I mean, if Satan's going to take away these student loans, he might just have my vote.
From what we've been talking about, apparently he's a very, very nice guy. So
yeah,
well,
Satan's a man of people.
If Biden is going to take away these student loans, I'm all for that because I paid off my student loans, but my wife owes a nice chunk of change, and if we can get that erased, that'll be beautiful. If he can give first-time homeowners that $10,000 that he said he was gonna, that'll be beautiful as well.
Sure.
And if he can close down the country so that we can get rid of this COVID, like Canada's doing and the UK and them, that'll be beautiful as well.
Do you think it's possible to put the interest of, the United States of our system ahead of your own personal interests in a situation like we have today where, I don't know, every value that we normally would have has been kind of put by the wayside. Is it possible that is it possible for human beings to really feel what they call patriotism or whatever, to care enough about this country that it survives and democracy survives, um, over what might be your own personal interest, which is generally financial interest or your health interest or whatever.
Human beings, yes. I don't trust Americans as a whole, like the country itself. Like when I've spoken to people from like Canada, and when they see they're on the outside looking at us, and they look at us like we're idiots. Like, what are you guys doing? You guys, y'all voted for a reality star to be your president. You guys don't have universal health care. You guys are the most obese country in the world. Like all these things about Americans that to the outside world makes us look stupid as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we're the most selfish country. Like, when people say, "Oh, this is the best country in the world," I question that. Like, I'm not sure. Like, if I had to put money on it, I wouldn't bet on the American people. I just don't have that much faith in us that we won't let our own selfish needs take over for the better good.
A lot of
What
propaganda.
were you about to say, Sierra?
So many things.
Please do. Go ahead. I could be
Just
here all night. I don't
the-
know what time y'all trying to be on here too.
No, just with the
Finest.
just with
It's
this,
up to him.
like
I'll let you know. I'll start bitching. You hear me? I'll be like, oh.
there's not enough incentive for people to act normal. I'll just say that. Like that's the nice way I'll put it, just to act like normal people. Um there's just not enough incentive. Like if you're trying to like rally up the American people and get them to do this one thing for like 6 to 8 weeks, which is just stay the fuck inside and stop spitting on people. Um, you can't really do that because they don't have any incentive not to. The people that are like violating and like frequently going about breathing on people, they just everybody else is staying inside. Like I've stayed inside since like March, and then everybody else
Yep.
that doesn't care is just doing what they want to do anyway. The businesses are letting them in. The stores are letting them continue to shop there, even while they spit and scream and breathe out on other people. They're still getting all the things that they want and all the things that they need, and then they either catch it, spread it to everybody else that was trying to be normal, and then they're fine, and then they complain about how it wasn't that big of a deal, or they catch it and then they're one of those freaks that sit in the hospital and scream at nurses about putting them on ventilators like as they're dying, saying it still wasn't real. Like they don't have a lot of incentive to not do what they're doing and to
Yeah.
change their way of life.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told Jeff knows that story. I had COVID. I died. But
Oh.
yeah,
What?
I literally died and I came back to life.
So
Are you sure that you came back to life?
If this is heaven, I need a refund.
Right?
What about purgatory?
Yeah, there you go.
If this is purgatory, it's gonna be very interesting how long this shit drags on.
He's
I
at
don't
a
know
sunken place.
I don't know how many venial sins I got to count up or whatever else like that. But hopefully I'm on like year 4,000 of my purgatory
Right.
sentence. Maybe.
It's just 2020 won't end.
Yeah. It's weird. Dying's weird. It's like because like I was feeling well, then all of a sudden like my temperature jumped. Like I called my mom, but like I don't feel good. She's like, you have a thermometer? I said no. She said okay, I'll bring you one. Check my temperature, like 102.7. She's like, how the hell are you walking around? Like I feel hot, but I don't feel off. So then that Monday I was going to work. I was walking up my steps, and all of a sudden I took one step, and it just felt like extremely short of breath. Like, oh, wait, hold on, let me catch my breath. I took another like let me sit down, and I'm like, just can't catch my breath. So I'm like, should I drive to the hospital? Which would probably been insane, but I didn't. I called an ambulance, and they take me to the room, they gave me a test. Oh, you have COVID, and they said, let's do a chest X-ray. Do a chest X-ray, and the guy comes back and looks at the scan. Like one guy came in did the chest X-ray, then the guy came in with two other people. I'm like, all right, this must not be good. He was like, do you feel okay? I said, I just feel very tired and exhausted. I said, well, we did the test and it showed that you're positive for COVID-19, and also the very weird thing that you have double pneumonia and that you have a little bit less than 50% of your lung capacity. I'm like, really? Like, yeah, so you're going to be here for a while. So I was in a few days. They tested me with a bunch of drugs and medicines and so on and so forth. So it was a Thursday night, and I was like I've been coughing up stuff for the past few days. So I sat up to cough, and I remember I coughed once, then I coughed twice, then the third time I coughed, and like my body just froze, like my lungs locked up, like I literally couldn't breathe. And so when you're in the hospital, you have like a little nurse's button, you press the help button, whatever. So I'm pressing it, and I can hear them saying like, can we help you? But since I can't inhale or exhale, I can't get any words out. Can't say a word. So I'm literally just sitting there gagging and everything else like that. And like the last thought that I had was that I said, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die peacefully. Like, so I was kind of sitting up, and like, since I couldn't breathe, my body wouldn't function. So I literally like relaxed my arms and I fell backwards. Here's the weird thing. Like I said, when you're like out, like your eyes can still be open. I literally felt my body start to get cold, and I felt like a tear run down my cheek. Then like I was able to close my eyes, like, all right, it's gonna be at peace. Like I said, I can't breathe. So I don't know how long I was unconscious or how long I was out, but I do remember that my eyes were closed and I heard the machine flatline. I just heard "Woo" across, and I knew it wasn't like I pulled something off because I still had the thing on my finger, so I knew it wasn't that. Then all of a sudden I hear people come running into the room, and they're like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And they help me lift me off the bed. A guy puts an oxygen mask on my face and just turns it up as high as possible. He says, "If you can hear me, so you're going to be fine." He says, I don't think you can breathe, but this is going to force the way inside because the pure oxygen is really, really cold." Um, so it goes like a couple minutes, and all of a sudden, I remember like I'm starting to come through a little bit, and the guy looked at me and he said, "Say something," and I didn't remember this until he told me like a day later. He says, "We were worried about how long you were out because when we asked you to say something, like you spoke gibberish, so we had no idea how long the oxygen was cut off to your brain." So once that happened, they gave me oxygen and so on and so forth. About 15 minutes, I started to really like kind of come through, still sick, but so on and so forth. And the funny thing is that I remember the nurse saying like you had a rough go of it. Like, do you want a sedative or something else like that? And I just looked at her like, "Ma'am, I almost died. I think I was gonna sit up and watch TV the rest of the night. I'll be all right. I'll be okay." Like I was paranoid and terrified. So I'm sitting in the fucked up part. The fucked up part is that like once I kind of get my facilities back together, I turn on the TV and The Walking Dead's on. And I'm like, this is just irony. Like this sucks.
It's hurtful.
This sucks, right? So then I get out of the hospital, and like over the past few months, like I've definitely improved from miles. Because when I first got out, like I could barely walk. It wasn't really like the sapping of the strength of my body. It just really like just the lack of like lung capacity. Like I would take like 20 steps and I would like to be gasping for air, and I had to take oxygen treatments, and I developed a blood clot and so on and so forth. So
Damn.
when I hear like the COVID stories, like my heart and sympathy goes out to people because I know people have mild cases. I know people have had family members who had it and not survived it. So I'm going to say I'm sensitive to it, but I'm really aware and acute of it. So when I see people say things like, you know, it's a hoax or it's just the flu, I'm like, that's the difference. Like if you get the flu, you can go. It's like 20 different medications you can take in the store to get over a flu. It's a viral infection. This is a respiratory infection. Like if you cannot breathe, you cannot live. So dealing with the difficulty of that, and like hearing about the people who are long haulers like myself and going through that process, it's tricky. But I'm glad I got past that. Like I said, dying sucks because it's not like seeing a movie like is everything all happy and peaceful. Like bodies got cold as shit, and all of a sudden everything just stopped. And I didn't really go to the great beyond because I remember the whole people coming to my room. I don't know if they were nurses or angels. Like I said, I was out of it, but kind of thing. I won't necessarily think that kind of thing happens every day. My life isn't that great, but it's one of those stories you can tell. I just want you guys to laugh. Shit, I mean, like, I'm sorry that I got deep on the story. Everyone's
Ain't
like,
laughing matter though, bro.
I know
No.
y'all tuned in like, oh my god.
It's okay. I mean, I wrote a joke.
Tell it.
I just would think when I'm going dead, I assume that I'll at least be hearing like Jesus said, "I told you so," but to hear nothing is really just sucks. That's what
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And,
I at
and I
least
think
hope it's a
and it
little
goes
bit.
back to the thing we were saying before about religion. It's like this. Everyone's saying that there's a great beyond, and people die all the time, but they never come back and tell you like, "Hey, man, the afterlife is awesome." No one says it. Once you're
You
gone, you're
just did
gone.
that one time.
That's it. Like it's it. Like no one comes back from it. Like man, I was in heaven for like 25 minutes, but I had to come back to earth real quick. But Jesus told me I got 12 more years, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick it like that. No, when you're gone, you're
But
gone.
there's no drinking there, so I'm gonna go down to hell real quick. 'Cause they got a bar, you know what I mean? Like heaven
Maybe
don't allow drinks.
I don't know.
maybe Jesus was busy when you were dying, and he was gonna say something to you, but he was just like, "Damn, man, I tried." And then you went back to life, and then it was like, "Hooray!"
I'll be mad. Like, hey, Jesus, hey,
What if he was almost there? It's like, "Dang!" What if he picked up and was like, "Oh, I'm here," and then he was back to life?
like Jesus, I've been talking to you for like 25 years.
But
You mean now
it
you
would
want to
only
pick up
be
my call?
Jesus if you're Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not
Uh,
Christian, it wouldn't be Jesus. It would be whoever you believe in, right?
what if he,
Dog,
that'd
Moses
be even more
coming in
embarrassing to
on the
wake up
ark.
and be like, "Oh,
You know
this
what I'm
is
saying? It could be Allah, it could be Muhammad, whoever it is. Like
dog,
people forget to realize that there's
Jeff,
over 4,000 religions in the world,
Jeffrey,
and
so
everyone believes that theirs is the one. You know what I mean?
Jeffrey.
and
I
Which
don't
is
care.
a
I
beef
just
to
want
have.
somebody to pick up the phone. That's all. I
All
don't
right,
care.
all
Just I
right.
need somebody to pick up the phone. Like if this is my way
honestly,
out, somebody pick up.
I'd be
How
pretty
long
impressed
ago
if
did
any of
this? How long ago did this occur, Anthony?
April.
Mm.
Wow.
In April, and how are you doing now? Do
Uh,
you have any after effects, or what's your situation today?
but like there was a clot in my that developed in my leg, so there was an embolism. My lung capacity took a while to get back to where it was. It's pretty much back to normal now, but it's sometimes a bit of a struggle. The only thing that I really struggle with now is more like brain fog. Sometimes my memory still gets a bit hazy for no good reason. Like, I was at work last week, and I was talking to a coworker, and it was like, um, asked one of the supervisors to approve this, and I'm like, and I said this woman's name 1,000 times, and for some reason at the moment I just could not remember it, and I really am like, what's her name? What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? Then it came back to me. So things that used to happen really quickly, like the processing just slows down, and it's like that's a scary thing to me. It's like how your how important your mind is, and for all of a sudden it not work the way you want it to, and it's used to be pretty much automatic with me, and then it doesn't happen. Like, how long can I carry on like this? It's a bit terrifying, but I've come to grips with it. Like I just need to slow myself down
Mhm.
and really focus and take my time. And now,
Well, I
like
have that situation now, and I haven't had COVID as far as I know.
hey man, we in the same boat. We got the same haircut. We're good to go. See?
Grandpa's
Yeah,
wife
Brandon, go ahead,
cuts
man.
his hair
Yeah,
Gang, gang.
Oh, she
professionally.
does.
I have a
Professionally,
few
yeah.
hairs left here, so
Hey, you doing
Yeah.
better than me.
yeah.
Why don't you just
Grand,
go with the Stone Cold Steve Austin baldy, Grandpa? Just cut it all off. Go with the Steve Austin.
Right. Yeah.
God
yeah.
told my hairline to go home a long time ago, and I listened.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've been through a lot, Anthony. Sounds like
Yeah,
has it changed you philosophically at all, or basically no?
philosophically, it's made me care a little
I'll
bit
answer
less
that.
about life.
It's
I
made
mean,
him a little bit softer. Ever since
I'm
that
more
whole
resilient.
episode, for the first time ever, he called me and said, "I just want to tell you I love you, man." That was the softest shit ever coming from him, and I was shocked. I was like, "Come again? Or did you call the wrong person? You want to
No,
say I love you, man?" I was like, "Wow, okay." It took a
he made
near-death experience to profess his love for his
he made it
friends.
seem like I was the hardest dude in history. Like I was far from that. Like that's not me.
Well,
But
you,
and no,
only people that really know you're a big Disney loving teddy bear, but you have a
I don't
very hard exterior.
stop. Just stop with this Disney
Well, you
slander.
seem like a
I'm
sweet guy, Anthony. Let me ask you this:
sure.
how do you feel now? Would you take a vaccination at this time if, when it becomes available?
Absolutely not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mm.
There is something about the speed of which they're doing it that kind of worries me. It takes like a vaccine or basically any kind of drug that they put on the market usually takes pharmaceutical companies somewhere between 5 to 7 years to produce. I used to work for pharmaceuticals, so I know this offhand. Any drug. So, for example, you know how you see the commercials, then they put on the end like, this might cause headaches, fevers, fatigue, yada yada yada.
Death.
Right.
Right. But what happens is like they put all these people through clinical trials, and at the end of it, if the threshold of those symptoms, or the ones that they name on the box, because in the testing it exceeded 3%. So it's a very small, minute amount. But because they exceeded that threshold, they have to put it on there. So it's very rare that it happens. So I know that it takes a drug a very long time to get on the market. So for them to say that, we've created a vaccine for this drug in less than a year worries me just a little bit. It's more like if somebody wants to take the vaccine first, I'm like, all right, you go first. Let me see how you are in about a few months. Like if you don't grow an extra
That's why I'm
eyeball
at with
or
it.
something else like that, we're cool. Then I'll go ahead and do so. But it's just very weird how you do something so quickly to resolve this problem. And it's not a conspiracy thing. It's just that it's my own personal belief, but I understand how they can do it so fast because it's one of the few times really in American history that you've got the pharmaceutical companies and the government basically all working hand in hand and putting all their resources trying to solve this problem, which makes you think they should probably do it a little bit more on other things that kind of affect our country, but that's neither here nor there. But would I take the vaccine eventually? Yes. Will I be
I
one of the
figure
first in line to do so? Absolutely not.
I figure if everybody else takes it and they can no longer get the virus, then I can't get it either.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not trying to take it.
if everybody thinks that way, then
Yeah,
nobody's
yeah, I
getting the
guess.
vaccine. Yeah.
I'm gonna let the people. It's like when a new roller coaster comes out in Six Flags or whatever. I'm not getting on it first. Like I'm just not.
Yeah.
Y'all
You
work
can
that
get
out.
on it first. Let them work out all the kinks. Let people fall out of it. Once they,
Yeah.
then a year later, I'll get on it. You know what I mean?
They were like, "Is this roller coaster good?" Like, only 2 people died. Only two? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just two.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
when that percentage drops to 100% safe, then I'll go. Like that whole it's 95%. Yeah, I'm worried about that 5%. What's happening to that 5%? Are they dying? Are they getting severe cases? Like, what? I'm good. When it gets to 100%, then I'll start taking it.
Do you guys like roller coasters?
Yeah.
Not wooden one.
I love
Scare the
them.
hell out of me. Yeah.
I like them. Yeah.
The
It's
regular
because
one.
By the way,
I used
Russell
to.
Westbrook just got traded
Oh,
Yeah,
he did.
anyway,
Where?
to Washington for John
to
Wall.
Washington for John
Oh,
Wall
wow.
and a first-round pick.
That's
Jesus,
good
the
for
Knicks are
John
never
Wall.
gonna get anybody. God damn it!
See,
Good.
why does it have to revolve around the Knicks? No one cares.
Damn it!
Nothing.
Let it
Nothing
go.
ever had to do with the Knicks.
Yeah, he's like, see, it was a whole different conversation about Houston and Washington. Like, well, what about the Knicks? No one cares. I told you, stop being emotionally invested in it. You get you mad, you're gonna be bald like me. You're gonna be real pissed off one morning. Your hair start falling out.
Anyway, I feel like Brandon had like a list of topics that he wanted to discuss, and we just went all over the place.
Sure.
No.
Like I felt like he had a whole notebook ready.
I think I give off that impression, but I really always have nothing. So.
Did y'all have any other guests that were supposed to come on today?
No, just y'all.
No, we just you guys.
I feel so important. Thank you so much.
I mean, the only things that I really wanted to ask were like, what's the challenges of starting a new podcast? Like, you guys have advice for us? I mean, I'd love to hear Phines here, Grandpa's thoughts on like. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're hitting like a landmark. We just hit like we're about to be almost half a year, so it's pretty crazy.
My first advice would be, don't go into it, expecting to make money. Like Anthony he doesn't even care about them. I'm the structured one. I'm like, okay, eventually I want to be able to monetize this. I want to, advertise. I want to do this, do ads. Anthony doesn't give a shit about any of that. He's like, yeah, just press record. Let me just talk and let me get the hell out of here. You know what I mean?
I died. I don't care about money. Like, I'm cool.
And that's the thing. You can't go into this thinking about we're gonna make money because that might not come for years. You know what I mean? Like, you got to build your fan base, and people that have like 1,000 viewers or 1,000 followers, sometimes it takes them 2 to 3 years to get to just that 1,000, that first 1,000. You know what I mean? So we're gonna promote it or your social media.
For you guys,
you know what I mean?
I just want to say, like, the podcast for us in the last like 4 weeks has grown exponentially, and I think it's like the guests rolling on top of each other, where like they're promoting the show for us. Like, I'm not really doing much, and it's crazy like how many I don't know if that has to do with algorithms or something, but we're being heard in countries where it's like, how the fuck did these people find the show?
Oh,
And
really?
by the way, to you guys listening, we fucking love you. Like it's, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think guess is. I think that's how I came across you guys. I don't know if you're signed up to any websites. I think I signed up to some website that matches you with guests.
Backstage.
And I think that's how I found you. Which one?
backstage.
I'm not sure. Is that what you guys on?
No, that's like an actor ad site. So unless you're an
No,
actor,
it was another. It was one for
Facebook
podcasts.
group.
No, it wasn't a Facebook
we're
group.
not on it. What is it called?
I don't know. I don't want to give people free plugs.
Oh shit.
Because I'm
can-
signed
you
up
can
to a
check
bunch of
into
different
it.
sites.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think, and you guys are hosted by Buzzsprout. Is that am I right
exactly.
with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we. So somehow I came across you guys, and I'm like, yo, they got the same amount of episodes as we do.
Yeah.
They're being hosted by the same people. Like,
I
yo,
love that
and
you
know.
hit us up. I mean, seriously, like
Yeah.
it's so it's so cool.
But yeah, like the guests, like you said, because if people are on your show, they're gonna be more inclined to promote it. Hey, check me out! I'm on this podcast, and then they're gonna put it to all their followers and all their social medias. You know what I mean? And that's again, it might take years, but that's how we're gonna slowly grow. You know what I mean? Unless you have the money to pay a marketing company to pump, material out and ads and shit for you.
Right.
And like I said, Ant doesn't give a shit about any of this. He just wants to come on and talk, and he could talk about any topic
I want
all
to
day.
know Phines
wait.
and Sierra. Yeah.
Okay, Anthony. I
You
was
know what it is?
I
It's
was
like okay. Before you, oh, no, please make your point. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you, do you drop that line all the time? Because I started laughing because I was like, I would do that shit all the time. Like anytime somebody's bothering you, somebody's trying to like get on your nerves, somebody's trying to start with you, just anything, I would just be like, bitch, I died. I don't want to hear it. Bitch, I died. Do you think I care?
I might, but then it might seem like I don't want to become the guy like, oh man, don't invite him. That's the guy who died. Like it becomes weird. Like you can't be invited to certain events. Like, oh, don't bring the dead guy because he's gonna be like, they think upsets him. Like, let's talk about politics. Like, I'm not talking about politics. I almost died. Like, not him. But what you guys were saying about the podcast, I think more than anything else, that you guys have a very unique concept. And you guys, more important than anything else, like you have to have a podcast where you guys like actually genuinely like each other. And I know some people who like want to do it for the sake of doing it, but you have to actually get along with the people that you're doing it with. I mean, you might have conflicts and things you might not see eye to eye with, but in general, like that every week I'm doing this because I actually enjoy doing it. Like things become profitable, or if that's what you're seeking, it's going to do so organically. Like I said, you got a big boost and viewership and getting people from all over the place. Because like I said, you're in an open place where you guys can come on, you invite people on, you can speak your piece, we talk about certain things, and you make it easy for them. And once people realize that they're having a good time and that they're able to speak freely and that they have an active audience and active listeners, they're going to be one of the first to going to say, like, I was on this podcast, you guys should check it out. We had such a good time. Now, like I said, you had the lady with the conspiracy theories. I'm like, that didn't sound like a good time. It sounded like it was okay before, and it's like, okay, this woman might really be mentally ill. Then it gets to that point, like
I disagree.
But it came
I love that, maybe not for the moment itself, but just because like I'm not asking people like, hey, before you come on, are you a Republican? We don't even tell them we're going to talk about politics because we don't know. We just get people. And then sometimes, like we had one episode 3 weeks ago where we were talking about politics, and we didn't know that we were going to talk about that, and it turned into like this 7-person roundtable discussion where it just so happened that half of the people were Republicans. And it was very crazy how it worked out. Like it was, and I don't dislike it, or it just felt very honest, like very. So I don't know. I would love to hear what Phines and Sierra and Grandpa think about all that. But
Phines,
yeah, Grandpa.
Brandon,
I would just say I had no idea how this podcast was going to function, but Brandon has really, I think, put together something terrific, and we're very fortunate to have Sierra and Phines, who have very nice personalities, to really bring this thing along. I'm a little kind of older and probably not as upbeat as they are, but we're just fortunate to have, I think, people that really help to bring up this podcast to where people are interested to go on as guests and listen to us.
Well, Brandon, I was curious, like, look at the bird again. How are people reaching out to you? Like, how are they hearing from you to reach out to get on the show? Because, like I said, we definitely need to get more guests on ours. We've only had one guest so far on our show, and it was like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yes, though. I've been arguing this for
I
months,
do.
man. Like,
I do.
I don't. Like,
there's like you said, not to give a specific plug, but like I can send you links to everything that I've been using.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And to people
Are
out
these
there that
paid? Are these paid sites or what?
I mean the main one, I've used like Craigslist, that's super free, but the main one I'm using it's free for me because I already have a membership for work stuff I was doing beforehand, right? It's like an actor site. And I think it's $25 to put the listing, but then we got hundreds of people, like literally hundreds of people
just hitting you up to get on because they want to promote something or what? They got a book or they got something coming out? Nothing.
People just love podcasts. They just want to be on the show. And I think it is an interesting concept that we have. So, but Phines.
Yeah, email me that. I sent you my phone number. You never texted me, but anyway, I think that would be faster.
Did you? Oh my! I apologize.
Yeah, I email. You don't be reading my emails, man.
Too many people hitting me up.
Jeff, relax. Fine. The floor is yours.
Go ahead.
All right, shoot. Got a bunch of stuff still. Way back yonder.
Notes.
Yeah,
I love Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, I mean, because we said a lot. I mean, there was some stuff that was touched. There was religious stuff that was touched. There was stuff about COVID, stuff about the economy in America. I will say about the podcast and taking advice and all the other stuff. I truly am really thankful for y'all hitting us up and collabing and that's just gratitude straight up for that.
For real.
And also about the podcast. Oh, I agree with Brandon completely. I'm all about. I know it's an argument about people having a platform and yada yada this of fake news. I understand that, but I am also big on like let someone be heard. Like I don't care who they are, what they represent. I'll at least let them. I am. You hear me listening this whole time taking notes. I'm a big like I'll listen to everything you say and then I'll have 1,001 questions though. Just like
analytical one.
Yeah, like I just like Jeff was like with the religion. Like I'll read the whole book, but I'll bring a book back of questions, and if you can answer them or not is up to then it's for me to decide and the viewers to decide how they feel. But I ain't gonna let nobody I'm not gonna shut nobody up because I don't want nobody to shut me up.
Right.
So,
like for example, I'm agnostic, but guess what? My wife is Catholic. I respect her views. She respects mine. Sometimes I'll ask her questions like, "Yo, why does the Bible say this?" But and sometimes she can't answer it. I'm like, you see? And sometimes she does come back with me and she gives me her answer. And I respect that. If you can come back and give me an answer, then I respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
just don't like when you give me the cop-out answer like, I don't know, God works in mysterious ways. No, you got to give me an answer.
Yeah.
And I respect it.
I'm more spiritual than I am religious for sure because, man, I can't get behind how many wars and death has been going over and how many judgmental stuff, bullying and all that stuff over religion. But I will say, it's just like science. People are looking for answers. They're looking for, they're trying to figure out the right way to do stuff. And sometimes when you're trying to figure out the right way to do stuff, you make rules. And then every now and then you got to stone a person or two. It happens. I'm joking, but I mean, that's just what comes with religion. I know you're right.
Like for example, when we talk about blind faith, there's a lot of Christians that don't believe in dinosaurs because they're not mentioned in the Bible. Yet we have all kinds of proof, physical proof that they existed. And I joke that we have more proof of dinosaurs and aliens than we do of God. You know what I'm saying? But yet more people believe in God than they do dinosaurs and aliens. And sometimes it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, one was okay. Let me now stop. I be saying spaghetti stuff too. But say one was man-made, or not. You can if this is a tough one to talk about. But if
it's tough,
but I'm concise about it. Keep it concise. Go ahead. Keep it concise. Go for it.
You're right. If a man wrote a book, told a story, the man made that idea. That means God is probably man-made. it's easy to believe in something that is man-made, like the dollar or a line for a territory or whatever these things that people make up. That's easy. But if it's something that's nature given, that's like a dinosaur or other crap, like there's no afterlife and stuff, that's hard for people to comprehend because they have no answers to it. And we're all looking for answers, be it like I said, science or religion or spirituality. And for some, when you don't have an answer, people go nuts, or they
Yeah,
grasp
but I
for.
need answers. I need answers.
Yeah,
I
you
don't like
you
doing
you
that
like science.
blind shit. I need
You like,
answers. You know what I'm saying? Like people tell me, oh, but you can't see the wind and you believe in it. Yeah, but I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? I know the
Yeah,
wind is
but
there, and I can feel it. I can feel the air.
what if I say,
can you feel God?
what if
That's
I
the
say
real
this is God
question.
making me dance?
Some
Right?
people argue that they
Like,
can.
this is God making me dance as well. Just like the windmill made the windmill move. I'm like, all right, you say the wind made that move. God made my legs move. All right.
Are
These are
you
cocaine conversations.
are you religious, Finest? I've never. We don't have to talk about. You don't have to answer, but
No, no,
He said he was
no.
spiritual.
Yeah,
spiritual.
I'm pretty spiritual. I like I love mythology and like not just like the Greek stuff, but just like storytelling, like that type of stuff, fable stuff. And I know that stuff is like trying to describe the indescribable sometimes. Or like, oh,
You
why we
probably like that new show on Netflix, Blood
oh,
of Zeus, the
maybe.
anime.
Oh
I
yeah,
need to watch
it came
that.
up. I don't know. I haven't seen it
I have
though,
it
but
queued
yeah,
up. I haven't seen it yet.
I have.
You
I was
guys watch?
watching
I do
Do you
love
I
guys
was
some.
watch
watching the
anime?
Castlevania
Oh hell
cartoon.
yeah.
If you guys watch anime, you're about to make my whole life right now because I've been trying to. You want to explain this, Sierra?
Yeah, okay, so Brandon has been trying basically since like week 2 of the podcast to get together a whole slew of guests who will give Grandpa anime recommendations. And he hasn't been able to find like anybody in general, but it's been really, really hard to find like grown ass
Well, it
people.
depends. Like, do you consider the Castlevania series anime? 'Cause I
Yes.
like that. I watch that.
Like, and
Good.
Grandpa can
yeah.
start with that. That one's dope. It has Dracula. He knows who Dracula is.
Yeah.
And it's a good
He
storyline.
met Dracula.
But
Yeah.
anime is isn't it like Japanese cartoon characters?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Originally, I
That's
guess.
exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
I have this idea that we're gonna go viral by having an episode called uh, Grandpa Learns Anime. Yeah. Like
Grandma
like
Paw.
millennials show Grandpa anime and then create YouTube clips from it. But like, I just think we had a music episode that I thought was gonna be really good, and I mean it was amazing. But like, uh, this one, I just feel. I don't know, like watching Grandpa have to sit through 2 hours of anime is just a dream, like a childhood.
Even the
fucking
bird
dream.
disagreed. The bird was like, no.
It's not gonna. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You can't plan it.
Yeah,
Doing
well, that's
planning thing.
the yin and yang of our podcast, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta let it happen. You can't just be like, I'm gonna put him in front of a bunch of anime for a couple hours and hope some magic happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Unless
true.
I'm there.
But we're gonna do
But yeah,
it.
before I forget, Brandon, email me those websites. I'm gonna email you the ones I use also,
Yeah.
and also, we'll help each other. Y'all, you help us promote us. We'll help you promote you. The culture. Everybody who's listening, go listen to the culture with Jeff and Ant.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
carry on.
He's business. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll do that.
And yeah, if you are looking for guests, I mean, we're always happy to do.
Yeah.
Sunday, right? So it's whatever you.
We do it on Sundays. We usually try to do them before the football game starts, so before 1. Right now, the program that we use, we can only have up to 4 people on, so we're gonna have to figure out. Maybe we can start with one of you. Maybe we can start with Brandon. You know what I mean? And then work our way around.
Yeah.
I like the team. We should put everybody there.
Who's going to play in the next Super Bowl?
The Giants,
Stop that.
Steelers.
the Chiefs, probably. Oh, the Steelers, probably the Steelers. Yeah.
No, the Chiefs are better than the Steelers. So probably the Chiefs.
Well, the
probably
Steelers are undefeated.
The Chiefs and the Packers, or the Chiefs and the Saints. Yeah, they're undefeated. They're undefeated because they ain't played Kansas City yet.
Well, the Saints ain't going nowhere without their quarterback. Like, how do you break like 18 ribs? Or for one tackle?
Because you can have multiple fractures in one rib. Like you can have like a little hairline one, so a break's a break. So depending on how you put it, don't break anything. Just stay healthy. Hey, Grandpa, can I ask you a question that's been pondering around in my brain?
Absolutely.
Back in your time, did you know anyone who had the clap, and what happened to it? Because the clap used
What's
to
the
be a
clap?
thing. Exactly. See,
Chlamydia.
that's my point. See,
Is
the
that the
clap used to
clap?
be like, no,
Is
no,
that
no, no,
that?
no,
Well,
no.
I'm
Oh,
always concerned that I'm being recorded, but I will tell you a story.
Oh God.
Perfect.
When I was a kid, and I really was, I was probably 16 years old. Myself and a friend and two friends went up to Reading, Pennsylvania, and it was known that there were whorehouses up there in
Great.
those days.
Who doesn't love
And
whorehouses?
times.
one, and I will say that one of them became a United States attorney,
Oh,
and
Good for him.
the other one was also an attorney later on, and they paid for prostitutes, and uh, I could not get involved with one of them, but the other two did, and they both got gonorrhea, both of them.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I did not.
So,
But
so,
that's
so
a true
what? So
story.
what you're telling me is that if I ever want to become a lawyer, I need to get chlamydia at a whorehouse. Got it. Perfect.
You
no, he's
figured it out.
gonorrhea.
You figured it out perfectly.
I've never been able to fathom the idea of paying for sex. Like that just boggles my mind.
Kind of insulting.
Like there's too many people in the world that are willing to give it up for free for you to have to pay for it.
I
I
feel
mean-
like that's as strong a spot as ever to just wrap up the show.
Nah, wait. I got one. Now here's my argument. Here's my
I think
argument.
that's
Everybody
great.
can cut- everyone-
I think that's it. I think we
Everybody
got
can-
it.
Did I say too much already?
I think
Everybody
we're
can
good.
cut your hair. You can go down the street. Anybody cut your hair, right? But you only pay your barber to cut your hair because why?
Yeah, true.
They're good at it,
Because he does it the way you like it.
and they're professionals.
Okay, and I'm saying,
But there's also another theory that I think a female said that men are always paying for sex, even when you're taking a girl out on a date.
Not
You know what I'm saying? You're buying dinner. You're buying. Hey, I didn't say this. Somebody said it. You take her to the movies. You pay for the movie. You pay for dinner. You're technically paying. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think that's like Huey off. I mean, that's Riley off of Boondocks said that too. But no, I think they're
I
different.
think that's where I got it from.
I think it's
Yeah.
different. If you want to do it as a we'll stop it. I'll go and that's a whole other thing. But
We're gonna do it next time.
Yeah, Sierra's
We're gonna do it next
uncomfortable.
time. We're gonna
No,
do it
you
next
good,
time.
Sierra?
We're gonna do it
no
next time.
sex
You know
workers
what?
shaming.
I did the intro. I'm gonna do the outro. Are you ready?
Bet.
This is my two sprites outro.
Sierra, did
Come on,
I
Sprite.
reveal too much?
No. You know
We're getting-
what?
You're fine.
We're just good. We're just good.
Okay.
All right, you
We're
ready,
getting
guys?
Sprite now?
I wish. I want more. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. This has been another dank ass episode of Grandpa and Chill. Want to thank our bodacious guests today, Anthony and Jeffrey. You can listen to The Culture anywhere you like, anywhere you listen to good old podcasts. And is there a website? Do you have any socials?
Socials. Oh yeah, Ann, come on, man. We actually have a Patreon page too.
They got a
Patreon.com/theculture.
All right. All
we
right.
need to get a Patreon.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
you
need
do.
something. All right, listen, gang. I want to thank my epic black co-host,
Finest.
our bodacious show creator,
Brandon, bodacious
and
Brandon.
last but not least, our astounding.
Star of the show.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the show. Follow us on Twitter at Grandpa Chill, and you can watch this video on our YouTube channel or just listen anywhere you go because the episode's long. Outie.
Peace.
Outro.
Podcasting with Grandpa Bart and Rosie, always on his shoulder. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Grandpa and Chill is brought to you by your hosts, Brandon Fox, Bart Frank, and Finest Jackson. Our producer is Sierra Doss. You can find episodes old and new on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the show, and follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes moments you can't get anywhere else.